Hello, everyone. I don't know who's still here because it's been a minute. So, sorry. It was actually an experiment, so I do apologize. That's why I left the comment saying that I was going to be late because I knew that I was going to be late. I wanted to see something. And so it didn't work. So I'm not going to do that again. And while I am giving it a minute for you guys to be notified, I'm not sleeping. I'm meditating. I'm trying to clear my head and so on. I've been really tired this week. It's been a little rough. So I just want to make sure that I'm in a decent mood and I don't get mean in the stream because I know I'm going to have a reason to. So I hope you guys can see/hear me. I'm actually going to check on my phone and see what's going on. And then, hey, Scott, I'm glad that you're here, especially after all the waiting. I'm sorry. Okay. Okay, so I see you guys are here. It seems to be working. Want to make sure the sound works. Do you hear me? Oh, and also, yeah, sorry for the quality of video. I intended to do this on my phone with a clear. Yeah, okay. Oh, it's not actually way better. Like you guys see it way better than I see it on my laptop, so that's interesting. Anyway, okay. Oh my God. So questions are coming in already. My bad. Okay, so I'm gonna go over all these comments that I missed. I'm sorry. How many times am I gonna apologize? Yeah, okay. Keep it together, Natasha. Yeah, so Lori, I saw your comment, and I don't know why if you leave comments too soon or too early, they just disappear. Helen too, her comment disappeared. It's so annoying because I wish your early comments would stay. That would be so cool if we could just be able to chat before I even go live. Good morning, Clint. I'm looking at my phone if you're wondering. Happy New Year, Scott. Hi, Spell. Oh, hi, Dana. Rather. Oh no, I'm sorry. Dana's probably not here. If you're watching this on the replay, Dana, I'm sorry. She had to go to work. But she is Dana. Dana's a girl's. I don't know. They had to go to work. How am I liking the minivan over the Sprinter? Pros and cons. Okay, that's one I can get into in a minute. Happy New Year, Leslie. Thanks, Scott. I'm glad you can hear me. Okay, so I think we have multiple Scotts. Hey, Shelly. Happy New Year, Shelly. So pros and cons. The Sprinter obviously had more room in it, a lot more room, which was great. That's about it. That's about it. The room is great. Oh, and it was really, really good on gas, and I'm relatively sure that the Grand Caravan is way worse on gas, which could just be because this particular one has an issue that needs to be fixed. So I don't really know, but I do know that. Oh, also the heater. No, even when the heater was on, when the heater was working, it would run for a very, very long time before I had to fill the tank. This one, it goes through between an eighth of a tank and a quarter tank a day, depending on how cold it is and how long how many times I have to start it to keep us warm. So pros for the Grand Caravan, even though it's smaller and seems to take more gas, is that it's easier to drive. It's easier to park. Even though the Sprinter wasn't really that big of a problem. You would think that it would be, but it wasn't. You can be much more stealth in a minivan instead of a huge Sprinter. And pros, in the Sprinter, I could cook inside, and I'm just learning how to cook in the caravan, which I filmed yesterday, so you'll see that soon. So it's doable. It's just not as easy. I don't have as much space, so, but that's also because I have a lot of stuff, whatever. I like the caravan. I really do. I am claustrophobic, so I will tell you this. I'm claustrophobic. And I had like 2 episodes of claustrophobia since I moved into the caravan. Um, One was because I didn't notice remember when there was like a whole bunch of stuff, like shelves and stuff inside, and I took it all off? So there was a hook still screwed into the roof, the ceiling, and I didn't notice until I was sleeping in the caravan and I looked up and I saw it on the ceiling. And because I saw it there, it made me feel like I couldn't really get up very quickly or couldn't get straight up because it would like just jab me in the forehead and I felt constrained. And it was like nighttime and I couldn't get out and go get my tools and all that stuff. So I it triggered claustrophobia within me. Another time was because early on when Spot was sitting on my arm or something, I was like sleeping and she sat on my arm and my hair, and so I felt constrained and it gave me a huge like panic attack. And so nights like that, I end up sleeping in the cab like this, or like just on a pillow on the on the window because I'm too afraid to go back in the back. And it's not bad. There's room. I'm just claustrophobic. Like I'm claustrophobic to the point where sometimes I used to not be able to put on turtlenecks. Like or just the thought of putting on a tight sweater, even like a hoodie maybe or whatever. But turtlenecks were really bad where I would just feel like I would get suffocated and yeah, not good. So it makes me want to I have to get out and be outside and just be like until I can calm down and get back into the van. So yeah, that's not fun. But it has gotten better since, maybe because I moved stuff around and I made a little bit more room. I can make a lot more room in the back if I get rid of some stuff, which I plan to. So there's that. Okay, so next question. I see like a whole bunch of people watching and nobody's asking anything anymore in the chat. I'm like, okay, good. Let's me catch up. Okay, so how am I liking the MiniVan pros and cons? That's what we did. Thank you, Jamel, for the question. Hey Scott, Mini Mac Butterfly, Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Yes, definitely bring us the kitties, especially happiness and abundance. Yes, the kitties will be very abundant this year. Lee asks, when am I coming to the USA? I probably won't try again until next winter or fall or something, because I don't want to go anywhere south when it starts to get hot. So I will probably go more north again this summer, which means it's just like I'm delayed a year, which whatever. It's fine. It's fine because there were a lot of things that I wanted to explore here, and then I wasn't going to do them because I was going to go to the States and then go to Mexico. So now I'm going to go do those things here before I leave. So that's fine. So when am I going to the States? Probably, we'll see how things go, but probably next fall is what I would think is going to happen. Not when it's too cold, because I still want, first of all, I don't want to have the same issue this year where I'm rushing to get over the mountains in time. And also I'd like to explore the northern states a little bit first. Scott asks, goals for 2023? I love goals. I love goals. I love my New Year's goals. And do I have a boyfriend? I do not have a boyfriend. I did something stupid this last week or something where I told people that. It's okay. How do I answer this? I am not looking for anybody. I'm not looking for somebody. I don't know how to explain that. Just because I'm single and just because you're single doesn't mean that we're a match. Just because we are both van dwellers doesn't make us a match. Even if if we both have YouTube channels, doesn't make us a match. I'm looking for the right person that is compatible with me, and I'm not going to settle for anything less. I need people around me who match me mentally. That means goals, energy, work ethic, values, beliefs, that kind of thing. And I really have absolutely no time and energy at all to give to anyone who is not that match. Um, unless they're super hot and just want to hang out. So does that answer your question? Now I know why people avoid that question. So yeah, I said that on Instagram, and then I noticed that I had a whole bunch of DMs in my request folder or something, and it's all like, "Hi, okay," and like a conversation. And a lot of the time, those messages that are like, "Hi," they're bots or something, or scams or whatever, that are like people that didn't even go to your profile. They have no idea who you are. They're just like randomly DMing absolutely everyone just to see who bites. And then they ask stupid questions like at the very beginning, like I don't know, years ago when I didn't realize this was a thing. And they would be like, "Hi," and I would just be like, "Okay, this is a person asking me hi." So I would just be like, "Hi," and then they'd be like, "What's your name?" I'd be like, "My handle. Are you dumb? Like what?" And they'd be like, "Where do you live?" It's on my bio. Like, what's wrong with you? And then I'd realize, oh, they're not actually, this is just some kind of a scam. Yeah, so there's that. And yeah, so I don't want to get into it too much to be mean to anyone, but yeah, I'm not looking. Stay away from me. There. That's the summary of that. Did that answer your question? All right. My goals are to see how excited I got over that one. I So for the first thing is I want to pay all my credit card debt, which I'm making a huge dent in. So I am very, very focused on building the channel to get it to a point where I'm comfortable with an income and I'm able to pay my debts. And then I just really like very, very focused on that right now. And so I'm not exploring, like, I don't want to get too much into this because I actually just did a video on this, so that's going to come out. But in terms of what people's plans are when they get into a van, everybody has different plans and they do it for different reasons. And I think a lot of people are going to be moving into vehicles in the near future due to the economy. And so I think a lot of people are doing it for financial reasons, right? Whether they just want to avoid stupid rent or like stupid high rent, or they have trouble with their mortgage because cost of living goes up to the point where you can't even afford your mortgage payments anymore, things like that. Or you want to pay off your debt so that you're not paying interest anymore and lower your bills, whatever the reasons are. That's what I can relate to. Because then there's people who want to do it for adventure and traveling, and that's part of the reason why I do it. But also, it's financially a great thing, because if I was paying rent right now, I'd be like, you know what I mean? So you don't you don't want to live like that. I don't want to live like that. I've lived like that. I don't like it. I would rather people judge me, like people who don't understand what this lifestyle is, to judge me, or even people who think they do and then judge me because I'm not living it the way that they would, and that I'm not traveling enough, or that I'm not out in the brush or whatever else, that are judging me because I'm not living my life the way that they want me to live it. I'd rather be judged by people I don't give a crap about than to be drowning and suffocating in debt and bills and rent and whatever else, right? It's a really, really good feeling to be like, you know what? I'm hungry. I'm going to go buy some food because I want to, and because I don't have to pay $3,000 at the end of the month for rent. I forgot why I was talking about that. So I want to pay my debt and then build the channel, pay my debt. That's like quarter one. And I have 3 books that I'm writing. I have two YouTube channels. The other one's been severely neglected. I would like to get this one to the point where I can outsource an editor, because it's a lot. And especially with fibromyalgia, I don't have a lot of energy and time to give. It's a lot to put out 2 videos a week for me, like with how I usually edit my videos. There's a lot that goes into it. It takes several days to edit my videos. And I don't have the capacity physically to do as much as I used to. So I have to be very careful where I spend my time and energy. So putting out 2 videos right now is really like maxing me out. And I really want to start being able to put time and energy into like going to the gym and stuff like that. But I can't because I get a fibromyalgia flare when I go to the gym. So I need to, like, if I work out, I am out for like a week. I'm physically depleted. It's very hard. So I want to reserve some energy to fix my health, because okay. And I'm going to catch up in the comments in a second. I do not submit to the belief that when you get a diagnosis of some sort that you're screwed for life. Yes, there are some things sometimes, if you lose a limb, it's probably not going to grow back. If you get diabetes, then you probably can heal that. And a lot of people are going to disagree with me, and that's fine. I know that if you were insulin resistant, or if you're pre-diabetic, these are things that you could heal. Fibromyalgia, I absolutely believe that it's healable. It might take a while. It might take consistency. You might have to be patient with yourself. But I absolutely don't believe in, well, you're screwed for life. And I see some older people who are decrepit, meaning walking with their walkers or their canes, and they're hunched over. And I'm like, that's going to be me. If I don't get my stuff together right now, that's going to be me. And I will not allow that to happen. Yeah, so that was a tangent that you guys didn't need. Hey, Shelly. Okay, so I know I was talking about goals. So the other thing, it's like a lot. I don't know if this is boring you for my goals, because I was really in depth about my goals. I always am. Yes, I like my other channel. I'd like to start outsourcing editing to this one at some point, and then start producing stuff for the other channel. I'm also working on 3 books. One of them is almost done, and I want to get that to an editor and publish that one. It's just a matter of having the time and the energy and even the money, because I'd have to pay for an editor and stuff like that. So it's probably going to be a slow start, and then maybe pick up towards the end of the year. Yeah, making money. Pay my debt. That's the whole point. Sorry, Jim. Sorry, Jim. Is Jim still here? Hey, Julie. If you're going to sleep in the front seat on a regular basis, you should make sure you could recline your seat. Yeah, I hopefully won't. I really don't have room. Like, right behind this is the electric fridge, and then there's a bunch of bins with stuff in it. So right now I can't recline the seat at all. But I don't plan to sleep in the cab on a regular basis, just in emergencies, basically. And yeah, it's fine. It's fine. It's been fine. Patty says, name one place you've never been but want to see the most. I want to go to Lake Louise. I'd like to go to Squamish, and I know it's like, oh, it's just a 40-minute drive, but it's cold. So no, I'm gonna wait. But Lake Louise, and there's got to be a name for it, but there's like Utah and Arizona and stuff like that, like around there, even Colorado, all those places. I'd like to see Sedona, but Sedona's like lost its allure over the past couple of years. I used to really want to go, and now I'm just like, yeah, I'll go. I'll go. There's like other cool stuff too. There's a lot of really nice hidden gems that are not so well known, and they're absolutely stunning. So I'll probably be checking those out. I travel with one cat, so is it hard to travel with 3 cats, especially since you downsize, which is very smart. Well, thank you very much, Judy. It is. It's not hard to travel with them, other than the fact that I have to make sure that they're a priority. So I can't just park the van somewhere. I mean, right now, because I have the cargo bag on top, I don't like just leave the van either. But there will be a time in the nearest future where I will not have things other than the cats to keep me kind of tied to the van. I wish I could just lock the van up and go on some hike and climb a mountain or whatever, not have to worry about the cats. And at certain times of the year with certain temperatures, I can. Even right now, like the temperature's pretty decent. I could probably get away with it if it wasn't for the cargo bag kind of thing. But a lot of the time, like last year when it was too hot, I had to keep my eye on them all the time. I'm going to have air conditioner in this, so that's going to help a lot. But I still can't just leave them in the car when it's too hot or too cold indefinitely and go off whatever and do what makes me happy and comfortable, because I have to make sure that they stay alive, you know? So that would be the hardest thing. Other than that, it's just, I don't see this being a long-term solution, because they're comfortable. Like I'll do it in another video. I'll show you guys that they're totally comfortable. They just sleep all day. They're happy, cozy, whatever. But I also and they're getting old, so they don't like run around as much, right? But I feel like they need more exercise, and they don't want to come out and walk around as much. Probably because it's always raining and kind of cold. And I just wish that I had more room for them to let them run around. And so that is one of the biggest goals that I have. I want to buy land as soon as possible. Pay debt first, buy land next. Land, land, land. Even if I don't need a building on it, I just need the land because I want to grow food. And then if I can just like put up a fence or something to be able to make like an encampment or whatever you call it, so that the cats can run around and they don't run off into, even though I don't think they would go too far, but it's not them running away that I'm afraid of. Obviously, it's the fact that there are mountain lions, wolves, bears, things that can eat my cats, and my cats are kind of dumb. Thanks, Mike. I appreciate that. Oh, Shiza. Oh my God, Mike, thank you very much. Did you have a question, Mike? You get the mic. You get the mic, Mike. Thank you. I appreciate that very much. Yeah, so I don't want things to eat my cats is what I'm saying. My cats are not that they're not maybe because they're just ultra domesticated and they're just way too comfortable that they feel way too safe, but like they're the type to just lie in the road, get comfortable, and a car's coming and they're just like, it'll be fine. They don't move. They're just like, it'll be fine. It's not gonna be fine. So yeah, land. I would like to get land and get them more space. So is it a trouble? No, it's pretty easy to travel with them. It's fairly easy. I just feel uh, a little bit of guilt not giving them the proper room to like run around and stuff like that. Is it okay to leave a dog in a hot car? Hell no. I hope you're joking because no, it's obviously not. It's obviously very not to leave any animal or child in a hot vehicle. Um, okay. What was I? If you have any other questions, yeah, please let me know in regards to that or anything else, because I will elaborate. So Phil says, do you like living in a van, or do I plan to move into a house eventually? I guess that I mostly answered that. Happy New Year to you too, Phil. I hope I get what I need in 2023. Thank you very much. I plan to build a house, so buy land, and then I will probably like my current plan. We'll see how things go, right? My current plan is buy land and then put up a temporary uh situation. Like I've seen there's another woman with a YouTube channel. I forget what it's called, but it's really cool. She's always doing like outdoor stuff. She was on this reality survival show. I don't know if anybody knows who she is, but she had put up like an army tent, and it's just like a tent, like a huge tent, but it was like an army tent. I'm just like, that's so cool. It's like so easy. It's not very expensive. You put that up and it's like a temporary, you can glampify it. You put in a bed and a rug and a wood stove and stuff like that. And it's like a little house. It's way cheaper than a yurt. And it was cute. So I might do something like that. I mean, it depends what my financial situation is then and how things go. Because, yeah, maybe I'll get a yurt, maybe I'll whatever. But then, so the idea would be to put like a base camp in, and then from the base camp, thank you, Mike. Thank you, Mike, very much. Um, so I would, and happy holidays to you. Thank you very much. I would put in a base camp and then I would build from there a like tiny house, but I don't want like a tiny house. I would put in like a medium house, not like cottage size, but a a more realistic, comfortable version of a tiny house. So like maybe twice the size of what you would call a tiny house. Because tiny houses are that small for a reason. The point is to get past certain laws, um, zoning laws or whatever. So you would put the house on wheels so that it's technically not a house or something. It's mobile. So it's fits within what's legal to put on the property or whatever. And or maybe it's like, there's a reason. I'm sure somebody in the comments going to know. But there's a reason why they make them that small. And I want to build something like that, but bigger, because I don't need a giant house. It's just more rooms to clean. Like, who cares? Like, you don't need that space. I want to make it practical and functional and also cute, but not claustrophobic, if that makes any sense. And so I would probably just build that on my own or whatever. My cousin says maybe he'll help me. Whoever wants to volunteer. So, yeah, that would be the plan with that. As for where, I really don't know. People have been just out of the blue suggesting me things or giving me ideas for like buying land in BC and Alberta and stuff like that, like really cheap land. My original plan was the States because there's really cheap land in the States, and also well, warmer weather, but also Trudeau. I don't want to be here anymore. So there's that. Hi, Levon. You're working right now. Oh my gosh. Thanks for joining us. I hope you don't get in trouble. Oh, I might not be watching anymore. Well, I'm sorry, Levon, if I missed you. If you see this on the replay, hello. Leslie says, how did you get your kitties used to the Sprinter initially, and what do they think about the smaller van? So with the Sprinter, I would just let them go in it every once in a while, and they would just explore it. It was really pretty easy. And then I had them in the carriers when we drove across the country, at least for the most part, because they weren't that used to it, and I didn't want them to like be crawling on me while I was driving. But that was making it take a lot longer to get there because I obviously couldn't just keep driving for 8 hours with them in the carriers. So eventually I just let them out, and they learned pretty quickly to not be on top of me while I'm driving. And how that happened was basically they tried it and I stopped them. I would either just push them away, or I would pick them up by the scruff of the neck and just like reach back and like put them where it was safe. And so they just stopped doing it. And in the caravan, they happily went into it to explore the new space, and I think they recognized the stuff, like the smell of the stuff. It's our stuff, and so it just feels comfortable to them, and they just didn't really care. Other than that, they're just, I don't know, they're van cats. They like crawl onto the dashboard. Spot sat on the dashboard, sat up on the dashboard and this is when was in the Sprinter. It's harder on this one. While we're driving over the bridge, we're driving over the bridge, and she's just up there like looking out the window, like as we're like going over the bridge and there's cars, and I'm like, I wonder if she's doing that because she's nervous. And then all of a sudden she's like, it's like, okay, this cat doesn't care, not scared at all. The Dodge Caravan is running very well, thank you, Tim. It's good. I just have to I'm gonna change out the windshield. I'm just not in a hurry. I'm exhausted. I'm very, very tired this week, and I have so much to do. Phil says, we only see moments of the snow when you were digging out your cars last week. How did you manage to keep warm that day? I basically slept in the cab and kept turning the car on. I just kept turning the heater on when it was like minus 12. I sat in the cab and kept turning the heater on. Why? Because in the Sprinter, I used to be able to put the buddy heater on, and I don't have the room in the caravan to do it. I'm not saying that you couldn't do it. If you had more room and less stuff, you probably could do it, but I don't have the space, so I can't do it right now. And so before I moved into the Grand Caravan, the Grand Caravan is much warmer in general, I think, than the Sprinter. I'm not totally sure why. Maybe it's also my imagination. But anyways, when I was in the Sprinter, towards the end, maybe it was also colder, I don't know. I had the buddy heater on, but instead of getting the 1-pounders, there was a propane tank left in this Dodge Grand Caravan, and I took it out of the Grand Caravan because I'm like, I don't have room for this anyways. And then I realized that it was still half full. I'm like, what the heck? And the tube was there too. So I'm like, you know what? Let's try this. Let's see if I explode. So I plugged it into the buddy heater. I did not explode. I did not explode. I'm saying like that on purpose. And it was really nice. It was really, really nice. And eventually, so I had just kept that heater on most of the time. It was great, really nice and warm all the time because of it. I traded out the tank, like the tank lasted several days, and then I traded out the tank, or I had to buy, at that point I had to buy a new tank because it was not a trader tank. But it was like, oh my God, I love this so much. So I went to buy a trader tank, and then I traded that tank a few times over the span of however many weeks, right? That I had now the propane heater on. And then towards the end, towards the last few days, the hose got a crack in it. So I always check the hose and the connections every single time. Every single time I turned it on, I checked the connections in the hose. And at some point there was a crack. So I smelt propane. I'm like, what the heck? And then I examined it, and then I heard a hissing, and then I noticed that there was a crack, a huge crack in the hose. I'm like, wow, good thing we didn't explode. Good thing we didn't just die because of this. So yeah, it's not the safest thing, but it's a good option when you have no options. Would I recommend it? Legally, I would not, because it's not safe. Let's just put it that way. Yeah, I feel like there was something I wanted to touch on with that. Something about the heater, and I don't remember what I was gonna say. Hopefully it'll come to me. Kitties initially. So yeah, I was just sleeping in the cab. When the caravan, I just slept in the cab and kept turning the heater on. And generally speaking, I have the electric blanket, so I'll just make sure that the jacker is charged, and then I'll put it in the back and plug in the heated blanket, and the cats are great on that. They sleep great. Can you do gentler exercise or yoga and Pilates? I will try that again, Annette. Thank you for this. A good suggestion. I will start trying that again. The reason why I stopped doing is when I was in Nanaimo, I was trying to get up really early. Well, I was getting up really early, effectively, and then I would go to the park and I would take out the yoga mat and try to do yoga. And one of the issues was the morning dew was annoying, but I'm like, whatever, it doesn't matter. I'm going to do it anyways. The other big issue that happened right away was that there were rubberneckers. Like, people would drive by and just be like, I don't know if I could show, like, just, you know what I'm saying? It was just staring at me. They're just staring at me like creepers. And I'm like, okay, this is not fun anymore. And then there was this group of old men who just used to go have their morning social time at the park, and it just felt weird. It's like yoga is one of those things where if you do it in the wrong environment, it's people treat you like it's dirty because a woman's body is not hers. It's just a display for everybody else, right? Obviously, I'm being facetious. So I stopped doing yoga in the morning at the park. I stopped doing yoga at all. And then I was screwed because I couldn't go very far from the van, and yeah, was not very happy. Eventually, I got my gym membership, but only when I got to Surrey, I got my gym membership. And I did that because I was applying to jobs, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to need to take regular showers, like actual showers, regular showers, to be presentable at work and go to work. And then nobody called me, which, by the way, let's touch on that for a second because I have an update. So I got my gym membership so that I could go to work. I got it at that gym brand specifically for a reason that I'm not going to talk about on YouTube. It was a strategic reason. So I absolutely did get that gym for a reason. And then, yeah, so they didn't call me back, and now I have a gym membership, which is great. It's just that when I try to go work out, like I said, then it screws me up for days. But I'm still going to try. The And I will probably try doing yoga and stretching there is what my isn't it? What I was gonna say about the job situation is, so I was at the dollar store, which is one of the places that I had applied to, and I'm at the, like, the self-checkout, and somebody goes to the cash, and they start telling the manager who was checking him out, that he didn't wanna use the self-checkout, so he went to get the guy to go check him out. He's like, "I'm not gonna use the self-checkout because that's basically taking, people's jobs, you know, and it's, like, screwing up the economy." And the guy who was the manager said, yeah, well, what are you gonna do? Who you gonna work here? You think you know how hard it is to get people to work here?" And I was just like, "Are you freaking kidding me?" I turned around, I'm like, "I applied here like a month ago and no one even called me back for an interview." And he's like, oh, well, yeah, because I mean, technically there was like 7 other people that applied and like we just have like a problem with our system." So they didn't call me back because I probably lost my number or my resume or whatever it is because they're extremely disorganized. So are they desperate for workers? Yes. Will they hire me? No. Why? Because they don't know what they're doing. They're a hot mess. And so that's that. Did it work out for me? Yes, it did. So eat it. Eat me. uh your editing style cannot be outsourced. You have a great style. Thank you, Julie. And it is what's in my mind. Well, this is the problem, right? Oh, thanks, Julie. The only other option is that I make less videos, that I focus on making one video per week on this channel so that I have more time and energy to put into other things. Um, I'm trying to look for a solution. Because there are some things that I've been like dying to make for my other channel, and I just haven't had any time to put into it. Oh, hey girl, a mystic. Hi Natasha, those sound like great goals. I only just found you and love your content. Thank you. Spoken and I love both your channels. Oh, thank you very much. I hope Chris says, I hope things are going better for you. I wish I was there. I would have done repairs no charge. Oh, thanks, Chris. Julie says, is there a cargo container on the roof completely full? Is my cargo container completely full? Can I fit more things in there to make more room? The thing is, I only put stuff up there that I'm not afraid to lose if someone steals it or if it falls off the van, like something happens and it snaps off while I'm driving, or that is okay to get wet because that's a possibility too. Stuff like that. So anything that needs to stay dry, that I will not be happy if I lose it, stuff like that I have to keep inside. So there's a little bit of room. I just don't know what else I could put in there because I was careful about that. Mike, you're the best. Paddington, what are land prices in Canada? A lot. The prices a lot. Some people were telling me where I could go to probably get land for like maybe 20K, something like that. Which is very inexpensive. But it's like you have to go up north to very remote areas, stuff like that, which is what I want essentially, is to be off grid. And I just don't like the cold. You know, there's things, pros and cons, my friends. So it's something to think about. Okay, so cream pie. Okay. Mike, just the best of luck. Thank you, Mike. Scott says, what more do you have to do to the van? Replace the windshield. I'm going to touch up the paint. Some of the rust, I'd sanded it down right to the metal, but apparently I didn't do a good job. So I'm going to resand those parts down to the metal and probably put something on it, like some compound of some sort to stop the rust, and then touch up the paint and do another coat of someone suggested like an enamel paint, which is technically not car paint, but I might do it anyways for a top coat since I can't do a top coat. Stuff like that. Just I'm gonna fix that. I'd like to I may have to eventually at some point change the fuel pump, or maybe just the fuel injector, or maybe just the fuel filter. We'll have to see. But I'm sure that there's a couple little things that I don't even know about. The alternator as well needs to be replaced that I might do myself. Claire says, "Oh yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's it. Brooke Whipple, Girl in the Woods. Yeah, that's the YouTube channel that I was talking about." Paddington, Happy New Year. Happy New Year, Paddington. Questions above. A huge tent like a yurt sounds fab. Thank you. Land prices in Canada. Yeah. So, I think it varies. And to be honest, still have not done that much research into it. So, ask me again in a couple months when I know what the market is like I've spoken to realtors or whatever it is. And I'll let you know. Next, so Julie says, next fall you should consider buying heavy duty tires so that you can travel in the mountains. Yes, I agree. If there's snow, I agree. It's next year, like in a year, things are going to be different. Every year, progressively, things are going to be different. I will have more resources to put towards things, and we can have better adventures because I will have more money to put towards tires and stuff like that. Put my regular tires in storage. Yeah, I have or have a friend store them for you. I have nowhere to put them other than storage until I get back, switch them again. Like if I was to switch my tires out here, the only person that I know who has a place that I could potentially store them is like in Prince George, 8 hours away. So I'm obviously not going to do that. And if I get storage, which I absolutely was considering, to get chains, to get winter tires, change out my tires for winter tires for the winter, and then go do some stuff. And then I would get storage and then put some of the stuff that's still in the van in the storage with the tires and make some room, and I would be comfortable, and then I'd be able to go travel, which is a possibility. However, so storage is like $150 minimum here and per month, and then I'd be paying a few hundred for the tires and the chains and stuff like that, and which is doable technically, just really not conducive to the grander plan of trying to pay my debt off. And even the whole idea of going to explore, it takes time away from everything else that I have going on, and I really just want to hunker down for the winter and work as much as possible. So that's what I'm doing. Will that potentially change in like February and March and whatever? Potentially. I could have a video blow up and everything could change because then I'll have money to do all kinds of stuff. So we'll see what happens. Anything could happen. Put your regular tires. Oh yes, I read that one. Do you know where I'd like land? Somewhere warm. I don't know. I don't know where life is going to bring me yet. I truly don't know. I don't know. Thank you, Mick Mac Butterfly and Sharfam. That's very nice of you. Feel you on the TR thing. Oh, yeah. Yep. Hey, Laura's Lanes. It's all good. You're actually not that late, because I'm super late. Carl. Hey, Carl. Good evening. Any plans to tour the U.S. apart from Oregon? Yes, absolutely. Oregon was just to get to California, and then to get to the plan was to get to Arizona, but from here to Arizona, I have to go through several states, including mountainous states, and I had been warned about a certain part of Oregon that was going to be very difficult to cross. I've been warned about everything. I was like, people are like, don't go through Nevada because you're going to die in the desert. Okay, noted. Don't go through Oregon because you're going to die on the top of the mountain without proper tires and everything else. I'm like, okay, great, super great. And then I did my own research because my GPS gave me 3 options, and they seemed to be all bad options, all dangerous options. And doing my own research, I'm like, well, I could take the 101 down the coast. There's no mountains. And it looks good. It looks like gorgeous, you know? So I was going to do that. It was probably going to take a little bit longer, but I wasn't really in a rush. If I wasn't trying to beat the weather, I wasn't in that much of a rush. So I was going to do that to get to California. Because once I got to California, the weather would be fine, and I would be fine, and there would be no mountains. And then I could just take a minute and then go to Arizona to complete the journey. That was the plan. Other states, I want to see them. I want to see them all, except the Carolinas, and like, who cares? I'm just kidding. Sorry. I really want to, like, I'd like to see a little bit of Washington, but I really want to see parts of, I've said this before, like Colorado, Utah. I'm not going to do that now. Okay, I'm going to lose my place in the things. Yes. The answer is yes. Hi, Mrs. Donaldson. I lost my place. Okay, here. Paddington says, Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Did I not say that already? Happy New Year. Thanks for the Christmas video. Thank you for watching it. It was informative. Thank you. Do you find the minivan tiny compared to the Sprinter? Yes, but it's still pretty comfortable. So, I mean, it's not... The Sprinter was never, like, super comfortable because of the way that I had things set up. It would have been nice. It would have been a lot more comfortable if I had, like, a seating area and stuff like that. But I didn't. So I would spend a lot of time seated in the cab when I was editing or whatever else, which made me visible to everyone, which is a whole other bag of problems. If you have the option to not be in the cab unless you're driving, it's probably a good idea. Are there any other van lifers you follow on YouTube? Thank you for the question, Phil. I don't really follow anybody anymore. I used to. A lot of people. I used to watch Chrome religiously. Now I don't watch Chrome because since he hooked up with someone that I don't like, because I've had personal experience with her that was extremely negative, and she has not acknowledged it. And until, if and when she does, and we make amends, then I want nothing to do with her. And that includes watching Chrome's videos because it's annoying. So I don't know. When I started making my own videos, it just makes you think about how you should be making a video right now or whatever, right? Or in my case anyways. And so plus I don't want to be influenced by other people's work. I want to just make what I want, how I want it. And I don't want to think that I'm repeating something someone else did because I saw it and subconsciously I'm like, oh, you know what would be good if I do this? Oh, no, I'm thinking that because I saw that in someone else's video. I liked it, and now I'm copying them. So Unlike some YouTubers who copy everything some other YouTubers do because they have no personality, because they actually have personality disorders. I try to be original. See why I tried to start this with a meditation? Yeah. I'm at the point where I don't care. I got a few, like I've said before, been getting a whole lot of very nice, beautiful comments. I love you guys. I'm so happy that we've gotten to this point where the majority of people that watch my channel are good people. I'm so grateful for that. I almost get no douchebaggery comments anymore, and it's an absolute great thing. Once in a while, I still do, and I just don't care anymore. I'm trying to be as authentic as I can be, and I do not live my life to please other people. I live my life the way I think that is the right way to live my life, and I haven't always done that, and we'll get to that another day. But I'm never going to be the person who pretends that they get along with someone because it makes the viewers happy, or pretends they like something because it makes the viewers happy, or to never tell the truth about something horrible because it makes the viewers happy. You know what I mean? I'm always going to tell you the truth, and if you don't like it, that's fine. Go watch something else. But so maybe I'm polarizing, but the ones who stick around, I love you, and I know you're here for it, so let's do it. For heat in a small van, try Crisco and candles. Ah, yeah, cool idea. Yeah, I've heard of that. Crisco and candles, the Crisco and candles hack with a flower pot. Apparently, it works really well. My 3 hours, nice. Whoa, oh wow, 3 full days and nights. Wow, for one container, that's really great. In a survival situation, that is an absolutely great idea. Or if you can't afford the fuel or whatever else you require to like heat yourself, that's a fantastic idea. So if anybody wants to take notes, it's Paddington's comment, the Crisco and candles hack with a flower pot. I'm sure you can Google it and it'll show you how to do it. I don't do that because right now I can afford the fuel to just turn my car on, and so there's less of a risk to catch things on fire. Also, having 3 cats means having 3 liabilities that are going to walk around and knock things over, so it's just not safe to have an open flame. The other thing is the exhaust from burning something, even candles, so regular wax candles, it's like petrol or something like that. It's just not good for you to inhale that in a closed. You would have to crack a window again for a couple of reasons. The exhaust from the fumes or whatever. Yes, even candles. And 2, because an open flame eats oxygen, and so if you don't have any air exchange, then you could suffocate. So those are a couple things to look out for. But you could get like soy candles and stuff, even though they're way more expensive, and you wouldn't have to worry too much about the exhaust, not as much as regular candles anyways, but still it does eat the oxygen, so there's that. Oh man, I lost my place again. How many years? Vanlifers, cool. Great suggestion, Paddington. Okay. Kiltrina Demiri. Kiltrina. That's a cool name. Oh, girl, that's your name? Kiltrina. That's a crazy name. I like it. Hey, just joined. Will you be doing a tour on the inside of your van soon? Yes, I will. Hey, from Arizona. I did see this before. Hey, Mrs. Donaldson. Marta. Hi, Marta. So that's your name then. I can call you Marta? I probably won't remember. I'm sorry. Sharfam, which state in the U.S. are you most excited to visit? That depends. That depends. Right now, I guess probably Arizona because that's where my friend lives. I also have friends in Florida. I have a friend in Florida. I used to have other friends in Florida until I realized that they're not cool people. Yeah. But I guess I would have to say Arizona. I really would like to see Colorado too. Same list, guys. It's always going to be the same list. Anything on the East Coast? Florida's on the East Coast, idiot. Let's just move on. Oh my god, I thought I missed it yesterday. Ah, thanks. Glad to see you're doing well, and I hope the cats are hanging out too. Thank you, Cartisha. And then I got a couple of retracted messages. What you guys doing? What are you doing? What are you doing, guys? Okay. I was buffering. I'm sorry. Hi, Michaela. Have I been through the Kootenays yet? I don't even know where that is. Lots of beautiful land. Is that in BC? Oh, yeah? Oh, no, you hate northern BC. Yeah, because it's cold, girl. Damn. Yeah. Ugh, get out of there. I don't know. But it's beautiful, though. Air is clean. So that's good. Pros and cons. Where do I put the cat litter? The cat litter right now is right here on the floor on the passenger side, which is super convenient because it's just constantly reminding me to scoop it. So it's most of the time it's clean because it's a lot easier for some reason. It's a lot easier to get in and out of the Dodge Grand Caravan because there's no huge step down. So I'm just like in and out all the time. Whereas the Grand Caravan, you open the door and you're like, I got this giant like fall to the ground, and then you got to climb back up. It was just a psychological barrier of entry. So yeah, it's right there and it's super convenient. Do I have passengers ever come in? No, I don't. You can't come in here. This is my place. Where are originally? I'm assuming you're asking me if where I'm from originally in Canada. And do I speak French? Oui, je parle français. Je viens de Québec. Je viens de Montreal. J'étais née à Ontario. I was born in Ontario, and I don't remember any of that part of my life. And then, so we basically were in Montreal for most of my life. And no, I mean from early on in my life, and then almost all of my life did I live in Montreal, in like the South Shore, and then I got older and I moved to the island of Montreal, like downtown and stuff. I've lived basically everywhere there, NDG, Westmount, LaSalle, St. Leonard, just everywhere. Greenfield Park, even. I've lived everywhere in Montreal. And oui, je parle français it's weird when people here, they'll be like someone just the other day, but you don't have a French accent. How could you be from Quebec? I'm just like, we're not all francophones. There's anglophones in Quebec, guys. I'm an inspiration. Thank you, Michaela. I kiss my cats all the time. I will kiss them for you. Thank you very much. Molly says, any creepy, strange people interactions recently? Possibly, and maybe I pushed it out of my memory. I have been basically... I think the fact that I'm in a Grand Caravan and a minivan instead of a Sprinter helps because they don't automatically assume that I'm a lone traveler or something like that. I'm not totally sure. Plus, like, I have a couple of friends around here, like people that I hang out with, grown-ass men that maybe they find intimidating. I don't know. There's that possibility too. I try to stay low-key. There was... I don't know. It has not been as bad as it was before. Oh, you know why? I know why. Duh. Because it's cold again. The creepers come out when it's hot outside. Possibly because they're walking around outside because it's hot. possibly because people's windows are like my windows are open because it's hot, or possibly because people go crazy in the heat. I don't know, but it's when it's hot outside that people, like the crazy weirdo creepers, come out the most. So since it's gotten cold, for the most part, things have been great. Um, do I do personal consultations? In what aspect are you referring to? Because I used to do coaching. I used to do one-on-one coaching for self-love stuff and spiritual stuff. So I used to do that. I probably touched on this in a video where I stopped coaching at some point because things in my living circumstances got so bad that I couldn't. I had to take care of my own emotional stuff before I could take on coaching anyone else's. And so I stopped coaching for a while. And then just I didn't have time to go back. Just it's been a progression. And then eventually, like in August or something like that, I ended up shutting down everything, my school and everything like that. It was like going up, or I thought it was. I was like getting my testimonials in order and all this stuff. And then I'm like, nope, I really have to just take everything down and focus like a laser on the one thing that was working the best for me, which was this channel. So that's what I'm doing now is I'm laser focused on this channel. And then as that builds, it will allow me to be able to put energy into other things. But yes, I absolutely do have plans for that. But I'd like to know what type of consulting that you were asking me about. So agoraphobic squirrel, that's a cool name. Agoraphobic, that's a funny thing, an agoraphobic squirrel. What's the MET? The MET is that when I got here to BC, when I was in North Vancouver, so I had met Chrome very early on. Jeff was the first person that I bumped into, and I started teasing him when I would see him because it's funny to me anyway. He would laugh, so I hope it was funny to him. And then I met Chrome, and Chrome did the van tour. Awesome, great. And then I saw Emmy. It was just like I manifested it. I attracted it. I got here, and then suddenly all these people were here, which is not realistic. But in my head, I was like, oh, everybody's in this one tiny place. Just go to BC, and everybody will be there. And lo and behold, that's exactly what happened because I manifested it. Because it doesn't make any sense. So I'm in North Vancouver, around the same place. Chrome had gone back to the island. Jeff was still parking around there. And then Emmy had come. It was when she had to get her mail because Chrome forgot the muffler for her Webasto heater or whatever it was. And so I saw her van, and I wrote her a note in French, put it on her windshield. I went to her van to put it under her windshield wiper, thinking she'll get it when she gets it. And she was sitting in the cab, and it was like this funny thing where I was still putting it into her windshield. And I thought it was a nice letter where I'm just like in French. I'm like, hey, we have a lot in common. You know, we're both from Quebec. We both have cats. We both live in a van, blah, blah, blah. We both have YouTube channels, whatever. Right. I'm like, I don't know anybody here except that I just met Chrome, and that's about it. So I'm like, if you want to chat, like I'm right here, you know, like we can hang out, and that's it. So she read my letter, and then she came over to chat, and the first thing she did was make fun of my paint job. And I'm like, okay, so she has a quirky sense of humor, but that's like weird. It's kind of rude to say to somebody that you just met, but that's fine. It's probably just the way she is. And it just progressively got worse the whole time, where it wasn't like she was being offensive. It was just like the energy was off. And she seemed like she was being a little arrogant. And then when she realized that I wasn't a groupie, that I have a channel, and that like I do my own thing, and I was just talking to her because I'm like, well, I live in a van, you live in a van, like let's chat if you have time to chat or whatever. I even offer him like I can show you how to, because I have a lot of experience using certain programs, because I like started audio engineering when I was like 15 kind of thing. And I'm like, I even offered to show her how to use Photoshop to to help with her thumbnails and stuff like that. I was like telling her about my experience with my other channel and YouTube in general and stuff like that. It is like she very much shut me down. It wasn't just that. It was like I told her that I almost got hit by a car like 10 minutes before that, which is absolutely true. And I asked her what the flashing green lights were because I didn't understand what they meant from moving here. Like we don't have, when I see a flashing green light, it means turn. That's what it means. It means like you get the right of way advanced turn. And they have that here, but they also have a slow flashing green light, which I didn't understand what it meant. And I was waiting at the corner trying to figure out what I'm supposed to do, and other cars slowed down and came to a stop on both sides. I'm like, I guess it's my turn to go. And so I started going, and then another car didn't stop, and it just went whoosh, and it just like almost hit the back of my van. I'm like, oh my God. Like, and because I saw it coming and I sped up, it would have T-boned me. I'm like, oh my God, I almost just died. I'm like, what the hell? So I'm like, I asked her, I'm like, what does the flashing green light mean? Or I'm like, I almost just got T-boned, man, like 10 minutes ago. And she didn't care. She was looking at me like, and I'm like, that's weird. That's a weird reaction to that. And I'm like, what are the flashing green lights, like the slow flashing green lights mean? And she's like, I don't know. I'm like, okay. I'm like, you don't know. Like, how long have you been here? Like years now? You don't know what it means? Like, okay. You don't know what it means. It was like, and then I asked her a bunch of other questions. I'm like, how come people, when they want to charge the Jackery, they drive around and they don't just like idle to charge it? I know now I know why, but at the time I didn't understand why. So I would just idle my van and I would charge my Jackery, and she's just like, I don't know. I'm like, then why are you doing it? I didn't say that, but I'm just like, why would you do it if you don't know why? And then she had said, or I'd asked her, like, well, why do people leave so early in the morning, like just pop up and drive away? Like, is there a reason for that? Or like, why don't people just get a coffee and like chill out and edit, like something that I do? And because that's her thing, is like she'll just pop up and she'll just run off. I'm like, is it a preference thing or whatever? She's like, I don't know. And she's just like, I don't know. I'm just like, what the hell is going on? It was very, very weird, strange energy. And I'm sure there's things that I'm forgetting right now that were big, big red flags. And then she leaves. Oh yeah. Okay. So she leaves. She told me that I should go to Squamish. I'm like, okay, which I couldn't at that time go to Squamish, but I was very new and very scared, and it was very cold, and I'm traumatized from the drive here. I'm like, I don't need to drive through more bad roads. I just want to be warm. It was very cold. My heater wasn't working well. I just want to be warm. And so anyways, the next day she goes to Squamish and she films a video where she answered all the questions that I had just asked her. Like I had asked her a series of other questions as well, and she had answered all these questions in her video. Like 9 out of 10 of the questions in her video were questions that I asked her. But then she went to look for her through her comments to find commenters who asked her the same question or a similar question. And then she posted that in the video as if she was answering these commenters' questions to make it like plausible deniability that her video had nothing to do with the questions that I had asked her, even though they were the same questions. It was very bizarre, but how am I supposed to say anything? Because she can just say like, no, these people asked me those questions. They're right here. I have proof. So I'm just like, wow, that's annoying. That's annoying. And then she came back like the next day or something like that. And that's when, so she was parked where I showed you guys in the video where I showed you that guy was harassing me and he was going to punch me in the face. So I was parked like the lane behind her and she was parked in front of me at an angle. And she was close enough to be able to hear. Maybe she didn't. But I know she was in there. Why do I know she was in there? Because I was there for hours and no one came in or out of her van. And then what happened was after the guy left, I drove up and took his parking spot because you get the best Wi-Fi signal closer to the building, so I took his spot. And then I was trying to see if she was in there and like be loud, and she never came to the cab or whatever, or never responded. I'm like, okay, maybe she's not there. But I sat there for hours, guys, doing shit in my cab. Why? Because it's cold and I didn't have money to do anything else. I was in there for hours. And then finally, when I went to park for the night, because you can't stay there, so we were all parking on the same street, I backed up and got out of the to leave the parking lot, and she came out right after me. I park, and then she drives right by me, like fast enough that she didn't have to say hello to me, and then parks 2 vans in front of me. You would think the least that she would, even if she wasn't in the van and didn't hear anything, that she would just be like, slow down and be like, hey, as she was passing by, right? Because now we know each other. But no, she zipped right by me and parked 2 vans in front of me. She knew it was me. She knew it was there. My van is not something that you can hide. And like, you know that it's me in the van. So it was just all this very passive aggressive shit, which is very Emmy, because if you watch her videos, she did passive aggressive shit to Chrome, where she was pretending that, oh, maybe what's his freaking name? Sharing the Wild. What's his name? Joseph. Oh, maybe me and Joseph are going to hook up. Who knows? Why? Because I'm single and I can do whatever I want. And I get why she was doing that, because if you like someone and they're not committing to you, and there was obviously stuff going on between them at that point, but they weren't committed. And so she's doing all this passive aggressive shit to him because she's passive aggressive, and then she just denies that it happened. So that happened, and ever since it bothered me, because so many people will be in my comments like, blah blah blah, I love Emmy, great, cool, love Emmy, go watch her stuff, awesome, cool, but just I don't, and my experience is valid. So you don't have to believe me on what happened, but that was the bulk of what happened. I feel like there's stuff that I'm forgetting that were even worse. But yeah, I did not have a good experience with her. And I'm allowed to have that I'm allowed to voice my opinion. And that's what happened. And now I'm going to catch up on the comments. And if you're going to defend her, defend her, just not in my comments. Go somewhere else. You can defend her. You can think that I'm full of crap. You can like not believe me, not like me, unsubscribe, whatever the hell you want. I don't care. You can do whatever you want. You don't have to agree with me. You don't have to support me in this. But what you can't do is gaslight me, harass me, or try to convince me that I need to change my opinion or my views or my experience because you don't like it. That's what you can't do. Falcos says, watch a lot of your videos. Just wanted to say hi. Hi, Falcos. I really enjoy watching how you figure stuff out. Thank you. And just go for it, even if it's not perfect. Thank you, Falcos. Teresa Wagner, you have been through a lot. I don't know. I don't think I would have the mental stability to survive. You're truly amazing. Oh, thank you, Teresa. Thank you for she says thank you for sharing your journey with us. Thank you, Teresa. Clint says, who do you think would win a fight between a taco and a grilled cheese sandwich? A taco, obviously. Why would you add a taco? Jesus. NC Van Man, why don't you like the Carolinas? It was just a joke. I'm just kidding. I was like thinking, I'm like, think fast. What's a state that you can insult right now? And I'm just like, that's what came to my mind. Will I ever come to the USA? Rhode Island hiker asks, will you ever come to the USA? Yes, I will. Absolutely. Martha Oliver, hey, from Alaska. Hey. Laura Lanes says, I'm in Phoenix, but I'm going to Palm Springs and Joshua Tree next week. Nice. Then Quartzsite. Right on. Always Be Kind says, FYI, the flower pot hack covers the open flame. Yeah, but I don't know if you've met cats. That flower pot versus my cats. Flower pot ain't got a chance. Laura Lanes, I live in Phoenix, but I'm planning on going to Palm Springs in the week, then going to some Whitewater Preserve, then Joshua Tree. I will be headed to possibly Southern California. That's cool, dude. Hello from Missouri. Hello, Kelly. Come to East Texas. I would absolutely love to, Clint. It's in the 70s here. Yes, I would absolutely love to go to East Texas, anywhere in Texas, and I will hopefully be doing that next winter. Laura Lanes, I forgot to say, it's my first car life trip. You're going to have so much fun. A Mystic says, Kootenays is better than North BC. It's too cold. Look up Nelson, Naxup, and Slocan Lake. Oh, bye, Mystic. Thank you for the suggestions. I will look into that. Clint says, see that vehicle life is growing. Yeah. More and more, do I think it's a good thing? I think it's just a natural consequences of the current economic state of the world. Hey, Cindy. I'm glad you're here. Hey, Lori. Lori, I had seen your comment and it disappeared. I don't know why, but thank you very much for it. Thank you for being here. It means you can keep going, but be cautious. It could be pedestrian light. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yes, I ended up having to learn that what the slow flash green light meant. To when I got my license here, they asked me that question to get my license. So in order to be licensed here, you actually have to know what that means. So it's strange to live here for very, very many years and not know what that means. It could be a pedestrian light if people press a button. It changes to flashing yellow. Yes, I have learned that. Thank you, Lori. You're supposed to keep driving for the green. Thank you. Thank you, Cindy. I agree with you. Cindy says, I can't stand her fakeness. Rhode Island hiker. Yeah, she seems fake in the videos. Yep. Stay strong. You got this. Thank you very much. Stay strong. Thank you very much, guys. Lisa says, hi from Oregon. Laura Lane says, I unsubscribed from her channel because I found her boring. I love Chrome's channel. But her channel was just kind of, yep, I agree. Sorry, it sounds like I'm being catty, but, you know, I'm actually being fully honest, and it largely feels good. I don't necessarily like that energy in general, like the negativity and the whatever, but boy, does it feel good to be able to tell my story. Lori says sorry. Wait. Lori says sorry if I missed it. I said sorry. Oh my god, I'm a Canadian. Are you sharing yet why you didn't know? I'm saving that for a video I'm working on. I'm debating on how I'm going to put it together. I might make it like a really big thing. I'm not totally sure yet. Rhode Island hiker says, oh no, where to go? I think they have a mini heater that plugs into the cigarette lighter. No flame. Very possibly. Gracie Noel says, hello. Hi, Gracie. Sharfam says, I unsubscribed from both of them because of her. Exactly. Fake. Cindy, can't wait to hear as to why. It's going to be a thing. It's not going to be fun for me. Let's just put it that way. Well, whatever. Gracie Noel, how are you loving your Grand Caravan? I'm loving my Grand Caravan. I have lived in mine for 6 years. Oh, right on. I enjoy it. I really do enjoy it. I like driving it. I really love driving it, and I'm really looking forward to being able to take it on a long road trip when in the springtime and so on. Okay, so let's see how many people unsubscribe. I just got to the bottom of the comments. If you guys are watching from like Google or something, like if you're not watching from YouTube, the YouTube app or the YouTube site, then that's probably why, if you're trying to figure out how to join the chat, that you may be having a trouble joining the chat that way, because you have to be logged in. Also, if you're watching and you can't find the chat, there under the video, you should probably see like chat or something, like a little button that says chat, and then it should pop up for you. Because I know that a lot of people have had that problem where they're watching, because I see a lot of people are watching, but they're not necessarily commenting. People have told me in the past that it's because they watch the video and then they're like, I have no idea how to join the chat. That's how. Also, since I'm doing it this way, if you're really having trouble, you can maybe try to leave a comment. I don't know if it lets you while it's live. Maybe leave a comment and or message me on Instagram if you're on Instagram. And then, even though that means you have to like leave, oh, I only lost one subscriber. Then I'm gonna check my Instagram messages in case somebody was trying to contact me through that. So, oh, thanks, Mouse. You're precious. I'm reading my comments now. Oh boy, look at this. Okay, hey Jane. Okay. Can't wait to hear as to why. It's gonna be an interesting video, I think. How are you loving your grand? We did that one already. Are you going to tour Australia? I'm a little bit scared to go to Australia. I've always wanted to go to Australia. I don't like spiders, especially ones the size of my head. That's a thing. So will I? Maybe one day. I have seen the men there, and that's that's motivational factor. But I don't know. We'll see. I hope to move into my car this year with my 2 dogs. It will be a tight squeeze, but I want to do it. Yeah, it's always it's things are always way more scary when you think about doing it than when you're actually doing it. And it's always, I don't think I would ever tell someone to just jump into something without properly thinking about it. I'm a thinker, I'm a planner, I'm a strategizer. I may not seem like it. I do impulsive things sometimes, but I like to think of worst case scenarios and how to prepare for whatever's possibly going to come. But so sometimes it's really good to prepare before you get into a situation so you don't get into it and immediately regret it, right? But a lot of the time when you get into a situation, it's a lot less scary than it was in your head while you were thinking about it. And sometimes we have to do things to get us to the next phase. So sometimes you move into a van or a car because you're only meant to be there for a month or whatever, because it was meant to get you to the next thing. And maybe you had a lot of fun for that month, or you saved money or whatever it is. And it was a catalyst to get you from where you were to where you want to be. Or maybe you had to have that experience and move into the van or whatever it is to understand what you like and what you don't like or what you want. And before you made that move, you just didn't really know or weren't really sure. And this gave you that inspiration. So if you're being called to something, I will always encourage you to move towards that. I'm lost again. Hey, Jane. Thanks, Cindy. Thanks, Laura. How is your travels? Where are you? Notice how weird I read? Yeah, that's a thing. How is your travels? Where are you? I am in Vancouver. I'm in somewhere around Vancouver that I'm not disclosing because I like my privacy. I like to be alone, and I'm not worried about you guys in the chat. Obviously, half of you aren't even in this country. But sometimes there are people that don't understand what boundaries are, and so you have to make keep yourself safe by keeping your whereabouts private. And most people understand that, and some people don't. And some people really push your boundaries. And those people, that's a big red flag that is probably someone who really does not need to know where you are. So I am in the Vancouver area, and that's where we're going to leave that. What is a and my travels are basically suspended for the next couple months for the most part. Well, we'll see what happens. Definitely for January suspended, because I'm really focused on getting these videos edited and doing like practical stuff that I need to do. What is the best advice for someone considering just starting van life? It depends on your situation. Because like if you were someone with like a whole bunch of money, I would tell you one thing. If you're someone with absolutely no money, you would have very different priorities, and I would tell you something very different. Or if you were getting out of an abusive situation, you would have different priorities, and I would tell you something different. So it really depends on your situation individually. So I guess that would be my best advice. My best advice would be to not assume that other people have the same priorities as you, and to not copy what other people did, because you need to take into consideration what's best for you. That's my advice. This feels like a place where you can be brutally honest. Yeah, either it is or I'm gonna do it anyways. Yeah, big spiders in Mexico and Arizona. Jane, don't put that in my head. And also, I'm pretty sure that they can't compare to Australia anyways. Phil says, great chat. Nice to chat from the UK. Thank you, Phil. Thank you for being here. Annette says, thanks, Cindy. Oh, always be kind. Says, why not be catty? It's suits cat lovers. Right on. I rescue and rehab street cats. Aw, thank you. Oh, thank you for your work too. And I've volunteered for a place like that. It's a lot of work, guys. It's a lot of work to be there for strays and animals that don't have a home and that need the help. It's a lot of work. Gracie Noel says, I gotta go. Thank you, Gracie. Sorry that I missed it. I'm pretty sure she's gone already. I'm sorry. Thank you for being here, Gracie. Thank you. Take no shit. A catalyst. Yeah, that's way to go, Jane. Good call. Good catch. Clint says, again with the stop telling me that. I already gotta worry about scorpions. I don't want to know about the spiders in Texas, guys. Tell me that's not true. Mostly in the Southwest. Yeah, I want to avoid anywhere near the border, because apparently that's where the worst of the bugs are, the spiders and the scorpions and whatever. So if I'm near the border, it's because I'm driving right through to get to Mexico. That's all. Isn't Quartzite near the border? Damn it. Guess I'm not going to Quartzite. Judah Buddha says, I have a house, good paying job, and I am so bored of doing this for 20 years. Wish I could do van life. I totally get it. If you can try it, maybe like temporarily, just get a rig and go do some camping, have some adventures. People do it with like their kids, toddlers, newborns even. Like if you really want to do something, you can accomplish it. You will figure it out. Okay, what is your ultimate goal? Okay, the empty omelet says, what is your ultimate goal in terms of van life? Do you want to do it forever? Hell no, I don't want to do it forever. Hell no, I don't want to do it forever. I don't think most people who get into van life have the intention of doing it forever. Some people maybe, But most people who do it are doing it because they want to travel, they want to have an adventure, they want to save money, they want to do whatever it is. They have some kind of a purpose for it, or they just want to try it. But I don't think most people are like, yeah, this is me, bro, forever. Unless they think they don't have a choice, because there are some people who move into their vehicles because it's the best thing to survive, to help them survive, because otherwise they would be on the street. And so they might think that they don't have an option. But that's why I keep saying think, because yes, and I don't want to invalidate anyone's experience by making them feel like I don't understand how hard their life is. But you guys have seen me go through all kinds of crazy stuff, and I always find a solution because I believe that there's always a solution. If you believe that you can figure it out, if you believe that you can do it, if you believe that you can get to a different level in your life, then you will. If you believe that you can't, then you won't. So if you feel stuck, choose to believe magic, okay? Choose to believe that there will be a way, even if you can't see it right now. If you have no prior experience to being in the place that you want to be, if no one around you is in the place that you want to be, just believe in magic, believe in the possibility. And I know psychologists might be telling me to magical thinking. You know what? It works. Hey, Rainbow. Oh, thank you. Oh, that's a cute sticker. That's cute. Oh, I didn't even put that one. That's so cute. I'm in Chrome's territory. Yeah, I mean, technically, I'm in Chrome's territory, but he's on the island, I think, now, or something, I would assume, because that's where the ambulance is. Oh, thanks, Rainbow. Magic is just witchcraft. Don't mess with that stuff. Not like, okay, first of all, I'm not even going to get into that, because I'm pro magic. I'm pro witchcraft too, if you're not doing it maliciously. There's like, I believe in intention. You know what I mean? And I believe that magic is really a lot to do with us harnessing our manifestation ability, but then using like sigils and stuff like that to help enforce our belief system. So like if you believe that this pen has magical powers, like if you believe that this has magical powers, and then you say that this pen, abracadabra, I'm going to find $1,000 this week. Tap, tap. This pen, so mote it be, because this pen is magic. And then you find $1,000. It wasn't because the pen did it. It was because you believed that you were going to find $1,000 and you manifested it. That's how I feel that it works. Yeah, and I feel that a lot of, and this is controversial, and you feel free to disagree with me, but I feel that the church had a big part in literally demonizing witchcraft because it was competition for their control over people's minds. We won't get into that, but we can get into that in a different episode, because, oh boy, I like talking about that stuff. Thank you, Rainbow. Rainbow, I love you. Thank you so much. You don't need to do this. Thank you. But that's so cute. These little stickers. Oh, look at the unicorn. Oh. Okay, let me go back here. Okay, Catalyst. Thanks, Jane. Oh, spiders again. I have a house. Okay, that's the one. What is your ultimate goal in terms of doing it forever? That's the one. Okay, so yeah, my ultimate goal, I think we touched on that, so I won't go into it again, but pay off my debt, travel, and then move on to the next stage of my life, which will involve purchasing land. Where and with whom is on the table. Do it, Judah. You can, yeah, exactly. Kiltrin is telling Judah that it would not be a bad idea to explore it if you want to do it. Yeah, that's a good idea. You can rent your house and give it a try. That's a great idea. Susie Sanford, love that response. So affirming to hear. It's likely not as scary as you think once you're actually in the doing. Absolutely. Judah says, oh, that's Crumb's territory. Yep. Susie says, more good advice. Thank you. I'm ready to set out in my Astro. Nice. With my senior cat. Oh. What are your best tips integrating her safety and any tips to consider? I don't know. It's really not as hard as you would think. It really, really isn't. As you just remember to scoop the litter, you remember to keep their food and water dish full, and you monitor the temperature. They're more resilient than you would think. Especially at the beginning, was super paranoid about them being too cold. Turns out cats are pretty good in the cold. In fact, if I thought about it, before I moved into the van, we were in a residential area. It was very safe. Normally, they're indoor cats, but I started to let them outside for the purpose of, I was afraid of what would happen if while in the van they got out. And so I'm like, this is a safe residential area. It's like a cul-de-sac. So it's safer for them to start exploring outside here and see what they do than in the middle of like bobcat area. So I started letting them out to see what would happen. And they would just walk around a little bit and then come back and then sit on the porch in the cold. I would open the door, be like, you want to come in? No, I don't want to come in. I want to lie here in the cold. So they're much more resilient than you would think, but also they don't want to be cold for too long. If you have specific questions, I can answer them. But other than that, it's a lot easier than you would think. Stuart, don't worry about it. We started very late, and we've already done all our smack talking about Australia, so you're in perfect timing. Thank you, Stuart. Besa Chi, how is it living with a cat in the van? As I said, pretty dang cool, other than the fact that I am restricted in terms of certain times of the year where I can't go far from the van to keep them safe. It's pretty great because you have company all the time and they're adorable. Right on, Cindy. The road to hell is paved with good intentions. I don't know what you're referring to. Oh, because I said intentions? Okay, whatever, Lauren. Whatever. Do I do tarot readings? I don't. I could, but I don't because when I read tarot, it's like when I'm reading, like I have these obstacles. So I'll pull cards and I always have to, I don't get automatic messages when I look at the cards. Something has to trigger it. So I have to go in the book and read the definition. And then the definition, like I'll be reading a definition, and in the definition, as I'm reading it, I'll start to see like a full-on movie in my head, and I'll be like, oh, okay, I understand what this means. You're going to get pregnant by the end of the year, and and then you're going to be really unhappy because that thing, you thought that was going to happen, it's not, but actually you're going to be a fantastic mother, and blah, blah, blah. So this stuff starts to come out of my head. But then I don't say it because I'm like, I'm going to sound crazy right now, or they're going to get upset. And then I'm just like, something about, are you maybe possibly thinking about becoming a mother? No? Okay, never mind. It's probably not that. So no, I don't read cards. Can you hear me? I'm like mumbling. Okay, I'm lost. I'm lost again. So Clint says, I have had a dream to start a tiny house community. Yes! But property is outrageously expensive. I believe tiny house communities are going to be a big part of the future. I agree, Clint, wholeheartedly. Do I agree with you? And here's my suggestion. What about getting a community together and then you're buying land together? If the land is too expensive, get the community together and split the land. Then it's cheaper. Just a suggestion. The Empty Omelet says, thank you, Rainbow. And I already said thank you, but so cute. The Empty Omelet says, I live in the mountains, New Mexico. Oh, by the way, Rainbow, I forgot. I keep forgetting to text you, and I wanted to say I found the duct tape. The next day I found the duct tape. Long story of how I found it, but I found so it was there. It was in the van. I live in the mountains of New Mexico. We do not have plentiful scorpions, but oh, that's good to know. But literally everywhere on Earth has spiders. I know. New Mexico is gorgeous and diverse. Yeah, I'm not afraid of the New Mexican spiders as much as I'm afraid of the Australian spiders. That's what I was getting at. I can't do it. Lauren says, I would love to know what your actual name is, Lauren Southern. By the way, I finally, for the first time ever, figured out who Lauren Southern is like 2 days ago. It works by invoking the spirit. Okay, no, it doesn't, Lauren. Okay, I'm not going to argue with you. It doesn't. Lee Mars, have you spoken with your mother since I left? Nope, and I will not. And when I see her next, she will be in a casket. And I have no problem with that. Maybe I won't even see her then, honestly. Oh, hi. It seems like I just landed in your live chat. Hi. I'm from Norway. Cool. Northern Norway, living in Tromsø. Hope you are all okay. Yes, great. Thank you for joining us. Depending on the church we were talking about, they are all just Satanists in disguise. Yes, that is true. Okay. Not everybody, but the general organization, yeah. There are good people in the church, but the church as a whole has been corrupted. So the empty omelet also 100% agree about magic. Awesome. Rainbow, much love to you and everyone in the chat. Yeah. Clint says, Judah, Cindy, I agree. Oh, no, y'all are talking to yourselves. Okay. Kaltrina, how are the cats? They are great. They're napping. They seem so chill and adapt to any new vehicle. They really do. If they can sleep there, they're they're good. Always be kind says, love how you're so considerate of other people's feelings. Thank you. You're in Chrome's territory, meaning Chrome is Van City, Van Life, so I'm in Van City, so it's like his territory. Do as a cat would do, pee on it and make it yours. Yeah. I think I'll pass, but yeah, I get the sentiment. Cats are good in the cold and the heat. If I had a driver's license, I would live in a van, but I'm going to get a tiny house instead. Good move. What is it like being on your own in the van at night? Perfectly fine. Sleep great. Cats are superb as guard. No, mine don't guard me from nothing. I know you said you're afraid of spiders and they have huge sewer giant candy. Oh my god! Can you guys stop telling me about the bugs where I'm supposed to go? Stop! No, I'm gonna have. Oh god! Come on, guys. Susie says thank you so much again for affirming my what ifs about cats and more manageable. And it's more manageable than I'm thinking. Yeah, I will likely have more questions once on the road. Feel free to ask anytime, Susie. I'm here. Goth of 69. I'm so afraid of spiders too. Cindy, that's my old lady dream. That's my old lady dream. I live on the property with like-minded people in a tiny house village. Well, you guys, maybe you want to talk it out and start planning the community. It's definitely a good idea. I will buy some land if I could build on it. Absolutely. Though Canada's healthcare systems would be ideal for me. Well, you would think that. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. It is stupid expensive in the States. Absolutely stupid expensive in the States. But if you have insurance, I would assume it's easier, better. In Canada, can I go to the doctor and get help for free? Technically. Will I ever see a doctor? Who knows? Because I've gone to the emergency room thinking I was having a heart attack and I had to wait there for 8 hours. I've sat there with an asthma attack until I just eventually went home. I don't have a family doctor. Neither does pretty much anyone in Quebec. All the doctors have left BC. Like, it's not as good here as you think. It's free to get no health care. It's free to get no health care. If you break a bone, you'll get a cast. Awesome. If you need surgery, you will get that surgery for free. You may have to wait 6 years to get it, but you'll get it eventually. You can wait 13 hours in the emergency room, finally go to the doctor, tell her what your symptoms are. She tells you, oh, well, it's probably this thing, even though your symptoms overlap with like 10 other potential disorders. And so she will send you for one blood test. You leave, you make an appointment with the clinic, you go on that date, you show up, you wait. Again, you go get your blood tests, they give you the results. All day is wasted. You go back to the clinic, wait another 13 hours, go see the doctor. Doctor takes your blood test, says, oops, I guess it wasn't this, gives you another test. Go back to the clinic, wait and spend all day getting another test, leave there, go back to see the original doctor. Oh, I guess it wasn't that. Okay, let's test another thing. Why don't you let me do all the tests at one time? Oh, because the government won't let us do that because it costs them money. So we have to actually make you come swipe your card for $50 every time you come back to me. So every time you do a test, and then eventually in like 6 to 12 months, we might have a diagnosis for you. That's the Canadian healthcare program. Sorry. It's super annoying. And I don't go to doctors. Ever. I stopped going like 6 years ago. Okay. I'm lost. Okay, cats are very different creatures depending on the cat. That's true. I had a cat that hated being the vehicle. Oh, that sucks. Clint, not trying to get too political, but dogs rule and cats drool. Listen, Clint, I don't know if we can have that kind of talk here. Okay, it's like just a line. Lauren says Canadian healthcare would rather kill you. That's very true. Lauren is very right. I don't know if you've heard of a program called Maids. Well, now they're just all about, downsizing the population. It's like, oh, you have a disorder? You don't feel good? Or are you sad? Would you like us to put you down? Because we can do that. Bye. Do I like Justin Trudeau, Scott? Do I like getting punched in the throat? No. I question the sanity of people who do. Trump or, can I say these words? It's too late. I already said it. Or Brandon, if I had to vote. If I had to vote, first of all, the political system as a whole is fixed on both sides because you cannot get into power unless you are part of the program and they let you. So when we think that one side is better than the other, it's usually an illusion. It's called controlled opposition. So we're given the illusion of choice to continue to perpetuate a system of control known as democracy, which isn't actually a false democracy because we're not actually voting for someone to be in charge. We are voting for a placeholder, a puppet, a mouthpiece for the people who are controlling us. If I had to vote, I understand what you're asking me. And people will get upset with this answer no matter what I say, but I would have at that point in time, I would have absolutely voted. Who do you think I would have voted for? I would have voted for The Apprentice. I would definitely not have voted for Brandon. So, am I saying that the other option is our savior? Hell no. Am I saying that he's perfect? Hell no. Am I saying that he was a better option? Yes. I'm pretty sure at this point, with the economy completely collapsing and being in a war, that's probably that's probably a good sign that I may be right. I don't know. Okay. Does that answer your question, Scott? Let's see how many subscribers I lost. Where was I here? Okay, have you made a bed like in the Sprinter? No, I have my huge bins lined up, and I just put like my yoga mat and the heated blanket and another blanket and stuff like that on top of it. So it's like not squishy to lay on, but I get a good sleep and I don't care. It's fine. And my back has been hurting me way less here than in the Sprinter. But I have a theory about that because I used to always put my leg up on the steering wheel, and I don't have enough room to do that here. So that the church as a whole is corrupted. Yes. I would live in Texas in a heartbeat. Heck yeah, Jane. I hope things get better for you and the little ones this year. Thank you, John. Have you heard of leasing Crown land in BC? That's a thing. I don't know what's involved, but I heard it can be very cheap. That's cool, man. It's cheaper the further out in the boonies without services. Nice. That's really cool, Lori. I'm gonna look into that. Australia has the biggest spiders in the world. Exactly. Thank you, always be kind. Oh, for catnip and wine. Which one's for me? Just kidding. I'm not kidding. Thank you. Clint says, oh, this Clint's talking to someone else. Rainbow, catnip and wine. Yeah. Jane says, I would love to get back to Texas, but not allowed back. Aw. No, Jane, no, you can go. They don't care about that anymore. Yeah, that's not an issue. If anyone thinks that I didn't cross the border because of the... No, that's not a thing. They didn't even ask me about that. The Daily Dose, how do you think about not being allowed your own pistol or concealed permit to see how you're a single woman alone traveling? I think it's extremely annoying. I also don't see, on one hand, I don't believe that I will ever need it. I follow my gut, and my gut leads me well. When I get the spidey sense, it's time to go. Not a good place to be at. And it has led me so extremely well. I know that my gut will keep me alive. It's not really, it's like, I don't know, my angels or my higher self or whatever, right? But you get the spidey sense, you know it's time to go. So I am intuitively guided that will keep me safe. I trust it. So I don't think I would ever have to use a pew-pew. But for the sake of not, like, just in terms of not allowing law-abiding citizens to protect themselves, I think it's a bunch of BS. And also, historically, this is why, okay, no one wants mass pollutings. I obviously can't say the real word, right? No one wants school pollutings, okay? No one wants that. But people who support our right to hold pew-pews are not fighting to keep pollutings going on. Historically speaking, and you can look this up and you can verify it for yourself. You don't have to take my word for it. You don't have to believe me. This is verifiable fact. Any time in history. Hi, guys. What is going on here? Any time in history where a government has taken the pew-pews, any time in history where the government has taken the pew-pews, a genocide, I don't know if that's going to help, but I mispronounced that word too. A genocide results right after, okay? The powers that be, the government or whatever you want to call it, They do not take the pew-pews away from law-abiding citizens to stop crime. There is a cycle throughout history. How can you watch something happen over and over and over and over and over and think this time it's different because our acting teacher, prime minister, who's clearly a moron and abuses his power and doesn't even listen to the cops or the CSIS or anything else, oh, he's definitely doing it for our best interest. Obviously, he's not. Obviously, he's not. Obviously, this is history repeating itself, and it's a very serious thing. And so thank the Lord that the provinces and the indigenous people and basically anybody with half a brain is fighting against these stupid new rules of trying to take our pew-pews away, because it does not stop crime. It just makes us sitting ducks and historically ends in horrifying tragedy. Did I get a little passionate on that topic? I did, because it deserves that kind of passion because it's that serious. Thank you, Jason. I'm not going to read that, but everyone else can read Jason's comment. I'll get censored. All right. I can't read your comments, guys, because I'll get censored, but everyone else can feel free to read their comments. Okay, so I was gonna go get my PAL and my RPAL, and now I'm just like, well, what's the point? Because even if I have it, all that's gonna happen is that then if I have it, then they're gonna knock on my door and try to see if I have something with me, like. Here in Chile, it's just like that too. Yep. Do I have a vision board? Technically, no. Do you guys like vision boards? Maybe we could do a vision board. If you like vision boards, tell me, because I love vision boards. I love anything to do with goals and manifestation. That's my jam. Okay. Do you have a vision board? No. Having insurance is not better. They will bankrupt you. I believe you, Clint. I really believe you. We gotta change the ways of the world, guys. Thank you, Marty Cruz. That's very nice of you. I appreciate that. Jane says Dominion machines vote for us. That's right. That is, I absolutely believe us. The numbers that came out even in Canada in the last election didn't make any sense. They did not. Listen, I was on the ballot, okay? For anybody who doesn't know, I was on the ballot, and I busted my buttocks for the short period of time that we had. The woman in the riding beside me not only did nothing compared to what I did, but was a complete embarrassment, okay? She's problematic, okay? And we had the same votes. I'm just like, why did I even try? Why did I even try? How does this make sense? A complete different amount of effort turned out the exact same results. How does that happen? How does that happen? And not just that, but like 90% of ridings had the exact same votes. How does that work? Well, I lost my place again. Hold on a second. I'm sorry. Hey, Michelle. Oh, cool. Michelle joined my membership. Awesome. Thank you. I just keep losing my place. Vision board. Yeah, tell me if you guys want to do vision board. Okay. Insurance. Yeah, 100%. Don't say it. Thanks, Rainbow. You say it. Everyone else say it. Everyone else says it. Say it as much as you want in comments, but I can't read your comment. I know that's why I asked. Okay, yeah. I thought I sold the Sprinter. I did sell the Sprinter, Judah. I am currently in a Grand Caravan. Northern Astro says this thing is our terrible healthcare isn't actually free. We are taxed massively for it. That is a very good point, my friend. A lot of Canadians go to the States and pay out of pocket so they can actually get help. That is exactly, I'm telling you, if I could at the time when I was trying to do these blood tests or whatever, I would have gone to the States, but I just couldn't. I had to work and all this, whatever house. But I absolutely see the allure to just drive across the border and then actually get the medical help that you need. The Daily Dose says comments that I can't read. Okay, so I'm gonna skip those comments, guys. When are you doing another Q&A? Thank you, Scott. I really don't know, because it actually kind of messes with the algorithm, with my momentum in the videos, and a lot of how many views I get has to do with how much YouTube will push my video, and that it's just a long thing to explain, but it's better for my channel if I don't do as many live streams. But considering the holidays and the way that things were going with viewers and stuff on YouTube, it was just like the perfect time to do it. So I truly don't know. Maybe I can try to do one a month. We'll see what happens. Clint says, whether the left wing or right wing, both part of the same bird. That's exactly it. The Daily Dose. Blankety blank won't run together. Possible. Aren't they, like, they're not gonna, oh, that's fine. We'll get to that when we get to that. Jane says, I doxed on Facebook for wearing, oh, you got doxed on Facebook. Wow. That's nice, for wearing the hat. That's nice. People are so nice. The thing is, it's important to stay balanced, to not go too far to one side or too far to the other, because that's how you get manipulated. It has nothing to do with her being doxxed, except just thinking how absolutely awful some people are. Just like, you disagree with my opinion, I'm going to destroy your life. Blank is the best choice as he ran the country as a business. Correct, I agree with that. Which is what the U.S. needs. It was built on capitalism. That's why it worked with blank in charge. I think that has a lot of truth to it. I think that there are still some negative things that we have not acknowledged, but for the most part, I agree with that it was run like a business, because it is created as a business. It is a business. It's money centered. The country, all countries at this point, well, maybe not all, most, definitely Canada is included in that, are run on money. It's the economy is the country. Taxes are the country. The country is all about money. The petrol dollar. It's all like, anyway, I'm starting to get tired. I shouldn't get too deep into conversations I need to think about. Or conversations that's going to ostracize like half of the subscribers. They didn't get this far. It's a 2-hour long live stream. They're not watching anymore. Where am I? Did I know Brandon has very hairy legs? The kids used to crawl. Ugh, I'm gonna vomit. Yes, I saw that. Thank you, Jason. I believe I already thanked you, but you'll get another thank you then. Daily okay, that's Rainbow. The real Indiana cones. That's cool. My dog keeps me warm at night. Do your cats snob you or snuggle? They do. They're adorable. Adorables. Animals are the best. Laura says, make some catnip tea. I would totally do that. I think I'm gonna do that, Lori. Oh, might be gross, but it might be good. Make some catnip tea for your next live. It'll be a fun experiment. Apparently, it has a relaxing effect on humans. What if it has a different effect on humans? Let's find out. Let's find out. I love both cats and dogs, but dogs take more care than children at times. Yeah. Nomad Man asks, Canadians like blank? Yes. Where do you live? Always Be Kind says, what about us all creating a pet friendly community and making sturdy houses from cheap shipping containers, animal friendly and planet friendly? I think that's a fantastic idea. Honestly, guys, if I can afford it one day, which hopefully I can, I will buy a giant piece of land, and like a bunch of you can like come and build tiny houses on it, just like we were just talking about. If I can make enough YouTube monies to like buy a piece of land and do that, heck yeah. Heck yeah. And we can make like our own little cult. It'll be great. Okay. Texas never did care about the blankety blank. Indeed. Very true. Australian here, 96, blankety blank stopped all our mass blankings. Yeah. I don't know if this is sarcasm or not. I don't know. I really don't. I need to look that up. Okay. Okay, so Jane says, heck yeah, blankety blank. Blankety blank. Next comment. Blankety blank blank. Blank blank blank. Okay, next comment. Blank 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 blank. Daily Dose says rainbow. It's okay. Talking rainbow. I got pretty riled up over here. The U.S. Customs would deny you entry because of your financial positions. They would figure out you have no reason to return. That would be a problem. They may have been looking for any reason to keep me out because whatever, because they're just like, I think she lives in a van, you know. It's possible. Or they looked up my YouTube channel and they're like, oh, she definitely lives in a van. And it was they would figure it out, maybe. I got the first blank, then would see football. Okay, well, you're talking to each other, so I won't read that. I was thinking that too. I'm not sure whoever wins, they will work it out. Try to tint your driver's side window. Sun damage to skin happen quickly. I think it is tinted as much as we can legally tint. I'm glad to live in a country where healthcare is free too, but I'd rather pay if things were done faster. I've had cats too, but I'm sorry. Well, I'm sure you will find a new one. Adopt, definitely. Or, you know what? Sometimes the universe just gives you cats. I'm in Dallas. It's okay. Not great to state taxes. Oh, not great. No state taxes. Okay, that's cool. I got my pal. Woohoo! Also, I love vision boards. Sweet. Thank you. Nice. Awesome. I want to do a vision board. Cool. It's 2 people's. Do I partake in the chronic? Can I say that? I generally don't. I have nothing against it, but I generally don't. I would, depending on the context, the circumstances, but I generally don't because it makes me sleepy and I don't get things done. And I'm like the type of person that needs to be productive. I would rather uppers. I would rather Monster Energy drinks and like a ton of caffeine and just like, let's get this done, guys. Instead of, I have, it's not so much that I have trouble relaxing. It's just that I have big goals and I want to get them done. You know what I mean? And the chronic is not going to help me do that. Again, once again, thank you for joining Michelle, I'm very happy to have you in the thingy. Hey, Jason, how are you doing? Laura says, I agree with about 100% of what I say. Thank you very much. Marty says, always try, never give up, or never give in. You have tools from that experience, and that will serve you at some point. Heck yeah. Michelle says, hi, I'm going to courtside in a few days. Am I going? Unfortunately, no, I'm not going this year. I will end up hopefully checking it out next year. Big long story. I would have, but it's not happening. But definitely go for me, have fun, and tell me all about it. Jane says, my favorite thing about. Oh, thanks, Jane. Thing is, I did run for a certain underdog party, but despite what the media wants you to think, I love the people in that party, the people who ran, the people who support it, the people who vote for it, the people who have those who are in alignment with those more kind of libertarian, freedom-minded beliefs or whatever. It's this that the leader of the party throughout this my experience and beyond, I've come to know is just another scumbag. So, and you are absolutely free to disagree with me, but that was my experience and that's my opinion. And so I have a hard time supporting that party now, simply because the way I see it right now is almost like it's, even though people are there for the right reasons, the leader may not be. Anyway, or even if he is, I'm really tired of putting garbage people in charge of us. And someone who's so self-absorbed and will step on the little people and be nice to you and smile and shake your hand in your face and then stab you in the back when it's not convenient for them. I'm tired of those people. You know what I mean? Don't forget to. Oh, thanks, Daily Dose. This is why you're not a YouTuber. Juno says, so what about companionship besides the cats, dating, and friends? Oh, I had touched on that before. Well, it's 2 hours in, so nobody's watching this anymore, so I guess I could tell you guys. There's actually a lot of people watching, but whatever. So I have no boyfriend. I don't have a girlfriend either. Let's be fair, okay? I'm straight. I don't know how many people are going to understand what this means, but I have a twin flame. I met somebody in 2019 who I have never and will never get over, ever. Will I move on with my life? I may have to. So I'm just like open right now to see what happens, because I'm not going to put myself into a situation where I don't know how to say this. I have to put myself first, you know what I mean? And we'll see if things ever change. But I have never loved anyone before him, and I never will love anyone ever again, most likely. But I can pretend. I don't know if that answers your question, but that is the truth. Oh, I got more questions. Do I? Okay, here. Friends. I don't like friends. I don't have friends. I'm just kidding. I have most of the friends that I have. I have very few friends because I really cleansed out my friend circle, and I just got rid of a whole bunch of people in my life that were toxic. Bye. And then so now I have very few friends who I trust and we're like-minded and stuff like that. I can count them on my hands, basically. I have a few family members I still talk to. I have an aunt and an uncle. Their kids. I have a godson, and I have a couple cousins that live in BC, and that's basically it. I talk to people, like, there's a couple of people around here, I mentioned them earlier. There's a couple of people I see on the regular around here, so we chat. They're also awake, like-minded people, so it's easy to talk to them. But I like to put all my energy into what I'm building for the most part. So, yeah, van life seems lonely. That's what the Judah said. It depends on what you want or need in life, because for me, I enjoy it so much. Like, I like being alone. I like doing my own thing. I'm introverted that way. Like, I like people. This is fun for me. I like my few friends, having talks with them. I would like to co-work with people who had the same work ethic as me, but I really am focused on creating stuff. And so for me, this works, and I don't feel alone. I never feel alone. You know what? I used to feel alone before I started my healing process. And then I didn't need other people to validate me anymore. And so I stopped feeling alone because I was the best company for myself. Do you still have a PayPal? Did I lose my? Okay, good. Do I still have a PayPal? Doesn't that net you more from donations? If so, please reactivate it. I understand what you're saying, so that part of the donation does not go to YouTube. I don't know, man. I don't want to encourage people to donate to me because, and I've explained this, I think, in the last video I did, the one where I was talking about how I make money. I don't want to encourage people to donate to me because I want to be as there's many reasons, but one of the main reasons is that I want to be as authentic and real about my experience as possible. And that means telling you about the low moments and stuff like that. And I know that you guys are really good people, and you don't want me to feel bad. You don't want me to be unsafe or in bad situation, and that you will feel tempted to give me money. And I don't want to put you in that position. That's what I'm trying to do. So I don't know, man. Thanks, Rainbow. Being stubborn. I won't listen to the people, as I. Hopefully she will listen to the people. Okay. Okay. How long have I had fibromyalgia? It started getting really bad in 2026. 2026. What? In 2016. In like 2015, 2016, it started to get really bad. I got it from getting the long C. Yeah. Totally possible. Yeah. Adapting to your new limitations is one thing, but again, like I said, please understand that I am healing from it. It is a lot better now than it was in 2015, 2016. What happened was I started feeling tired all the time. It was harder to wake up in the morning, and that developed over the course of a year or something like that into it's like I started to also gain weight, and it didn't matter what I ate or didn't matter how much physical activity I did. I just started to gain weight at some point, and I tried everything. I was very active, and I was working out on a regular basis. I tried everything, counting my macros, lowering my calories, intermittent fasting, keto, everything, and nothing worked. I consistently, no matter what I did, gained 2 pounds a week, every week, for about a year, something like that, several months. And it was very discouraging. And it was because of my health issues. But now looking back, I understand it was actually part of my twin flame journey, because it was such a big mental block I had about my worth and my value being associated to my weight because of how I was raised. My father constantly reminded me, you're fat, you're fat, you're fat. Even when I was not fat, I could show you pictures. I was smoking hot, in my opinion. I was smoking hot. And yet he would all constantly criticize the way I looked. I was never enough, blah, blah, blah. And so it developed into a complex where I felt like no one, like the only thing that mattered about me was how I looked and my weight. And no one would ever love me unless I was thin enough. And that if I gained weight, they would just dump me and discard me. Because not only was he doing that to me, but he also at some point, which really traumatized me at this point, told me that he was going to, don't tell your mother, but I'm going to divorce her because I'm not attracted to her anymore. So, first of all, what the hell are you telling your child anything about that? To keep a secret from her mother. Obviously, looking back now, I can see that he was using me against her, hoping that I would go and tell my mother so that he could use me as a pawn in some manipulation he had with her. And so I'm like, I kept the secret because I didn't understand back then. I was young. I didn't understand. I was like 20 or something. And I learned then that not only was I not good enough and I was too fat all the time and nobody would love me unless I was thin enough, but also that you can be discarded at any point because your only value as a woman is in your looks. This is how I was brainwashed to think. And obviously I've overcome that and I've learned the truth, and that I recognize now that my father was an absolute piece of human garbage, because as far as I know he's still alive, and that there are a lot of people like that, and that there's an actual pervasive ideology in society that is like that. Why? Because we have a F ton of narcissists and narcissistic people in society. And on that note, people say that I use the word narcissist too much, but let me say, sometimes I get it wrong. But when I say a narcissist, not narcissistic, a narcissist, I'm talking about someone with full-blown narcissistic personality disorder based on the criteria in the DSM. I'm not just saying, oh, well, they're into themselves. I'm just seeing the signs, because for at least a decade, I read that freaking book over and over again, and I practiced, diagnosing unofficially people based on those criteria, and I learned the signs. And plus my own personal experience, I learned the signs. And there are way more of them in society than we have been told, because they never get diagnosed, because nothing's wrong with them. Okay? And that is a huge, huge reason why the society is so effed. Why was I talking about that? I don't remember. I was talking about my weight gain and my fibromyalgia. So yeah, I believe my body started gaining weight at that time for spiritual reasons, because I had to work that out of my brain and learn to love myself and recognize that other people could love me even though I was overweight. So when I was at my absolute heaviest was when I met my twin flame. And that effed me up so bad, because like immediately I felt super unworthy. It was really hard. And I managed to work through that. And it was so relieving to have gotten that out of my head. And it was crazy, because I had done so much work on myself, and I truly felt like I had overcome so much and loved myself no matter what I looked like. But at the time I wasn't in love with anyone, so I didn't really care about what other people think. And when you date other people that are not your twin flame, it's not the same. They can be replaced. You meet someone who doesn't like you the way you are, fine. I don't care. Go to you. Yeah, I am infatuated with you, but I don't care. I'm going to go find someone else and be infatuated with them. I'm going to find somebody who likes me the way I am, because I like me the way I am. And so I'm going to go be infatuated with someone who loves me the way I am. But when you meet your twin flame, they cannot be replaced. That's what F's you up, because now you're like, I cannot just go find someone else who makes me feel the way I want to, who validates me. And you start to really, really recognize how You cannot rely on any outer validation. Have to get to the point where you're like, I love this person no matter what, so deeply, and I don't know if they love me back, and I have to accept that that's okay. I have to accept that even if they never love me back, that I love them and I love myself. And I love myself even if they never love me back. And it's okay to love them even if they never love me back. And obviously, you can see how that can also relate to childhood trauma, because when you love your parents as a child, you love your parents, and then they don't love you back, right? If your parent, I mean, an abusive situation, right? So when your parents don't love you back, even though you don't love them, even though you love them, it creates trauma in you, and then you go looking for validation, and it screws up your ability to have proper relationships in life. And so getting to that point is incredibly transformative and healing. So, and that's the real point of having a twin flame. Anyway, so, all right, moving on. uh, yeah, the end point of what I wanted to say when you said you're learning to live with it, one thing to get used to your new limitations, but never give up. I would encourage you to not give up on your own healing and to not believe that it's a permanent situation for the rest of your life, because it's not. I am healing from it. It is healable. No matter what anyone says, because remember, a couple years ago, doctors said it's all in your head and it doesn't exist. Okay? If they went from it's all in your head and it doesn't exist to, oh shit, we were wrong about that. Here's some drugs. We don't know what's going to cure it, but here's some drugs anyways, to where do you think they're going to be in a few years, right? I'm getting a headache. Is this the barometric pressure, maybe? Oh, I didn't finish my coffee. Will I be getting my mechanic's license? What's a mechanic's license? Oh, to be a mechanic? Should I? I don't plan on it, but it's definitely a good skill for the end of the world. I'll tell you that much. I'm watching and making waffles with hearts on them. Oh, Karen, that's adorable. Your cat is 17 years old, Jane. My God, that's not balls. That's great. Marty says, apparently catnip tea has a medicinal effect and clears up mucus. Let's do it. Ooh, I think we have a new thing. We're doing it. You're going to get me some catnip. She thinks it's cheating, but anyone who wants... Oh, God, Rainbow's still working on trying to fund me. Jane says, met a guy who has 3 oh, that, right. Oh, yeah, you're married. I just need to read the whole comment next time. Who has 3 acres. He lets people camp for free. Nice. Awesome. In my opinion says, hi, I'm from UK. Well, when will you be heading to countryside, getting out of the urban environment? When the weather allows for it, or depending on how my YouTube channel grows over the next couple months, because if I have a couple videos blow up, then I'll go buy the tires. But if not, then I'm gonna keep it low-key for now. Like the Davidian compound? I don't get the reference, Clint. Kelly says, the reason why you didn't get good energy from her is because your energy and hers don't mesh. Possibly. Totally possibly. Clint, sorry, bad joke. Okay. Okay. Always be kind. Oh, that's it. Lori Scott says, who is your greatest hero? Me! Who is my greatest hero? Oh, boy. You got some really good questions, Scott. Who is my greatest hero? I would really have to do some thinking on that, because I don't think anyone in particular comes to mind because I get great inspiration from very many different people. So I don't know. Jason says, I'm good. How are you doing lately? Great. Laura says, so did you say that you didn't have a problem getting through the border because yeah, they don't care if you're jabbed or not. Not right now, they don't. I thought I could never go to Canada because, okay, so going to the States from Canada, they don't care if you're jabbed or not. Coming into Canada, right now, I believe that it's lifted, so they don't care. They were pretending that okay, I'm not 100% sure about Americans coming into Canada, but I think it's been lifted. So I think it's okay to come in as an American. They were trying to keep Canadians out of our own country earlier this past year. And so a lot of people stood up to that and just didn't comply until eventually they're like, all right, we give up. So, but I think it's okay right now. A lot of the time they may use oddly worded statements on their website to make us feel intimidated, like we have to get it, when in reality we don't. So just be careful that they're trying to pressure you or make it look like it's mandatory when it's actually not. Jason says, I will be there next year. Didn't work out this year. Yep, that's fine. Maybe we're all going to get to do a lot more traveling in the next year. Should all buy some land. Yes, Laura, we definitely should. Lauren says, I someone that ran for... Oh, you know someone that ran for the party and they said the exact same thing. This is what I'm saying. I love the people in the party. The leader, I don't know, man. And by I don't know, man, I mean hell no. That's what I mean. I mean I damn well know that it's a no. I have 2 cats. One of them is sick with... Oh no! I'm sorry, Laura. That's really, really hard. Stuart says, thanks for the live. Keep up the great work. Thank you, Stuart. We'll be back on the next live. Love from Australia. Oh, thanks. I'm welcome there anytime. If you can clear out all the spiders in a certain area, Stuart, let me know. Marty says, sorry to hear that, Laurel. Yeah, poor girl. No Man says, I thought about getting land and settle down, but there's so many wonderful places to go and I want to keep rolling. Honestly, that's just it. Like, it's really hard to choose one place because there's so many variables, and it's like, I like this place, but I also like that place, and I also like this place. So that's why I'm like waiting for life to show me. Joe W. Life Adventures. Is that Joe with Life Adventures or Joe W. Life Adventures? I think it's Joe W. Life Adventures. Everyone always tells me I need a girlfriend. I think why I don't feel alone. I love my privacy. I know. Don't let unhappy people try to make you unhappy too. There's a lot of people who think that because they're in a relationship, or a relationship, that everyone else needs to be in a relationship, or there's so many things. There's like a whole community of people, especially like trying to pressure single women into getting married and saying that we're all unhappy when we're like actually really happy. It's a thing. Yeah, I'm obviously not saying that Joe's a woman. I'm just, just saying that that's a thing. Yeah, don't get pressured into putting yourself in a situation that feels confining when you're happy. Don't do that. Judah says, how did you purge all your possessions? Took me a while. It took me a long while. I had been getting rid of stuff for many years now. Before I moved into the van, I spent about a year really like getting rid of the big stuff, selling it, giving it away. And then even after I moved into the van, still selling it, giving it away. Facebook Marketplace, where a lot of it went. Laura says, after wasting all my energy on toxic people, my now ex-boyfriend, ex-best friend, And the man I was in love with, no, nothing went on between them. Oh, okay. I'm left on open space. Oh, yeah, they were both toxic. Okay. Yeah, that's exactly where I thought things were going, that you found them hooking up together. It's hard. It's hard, but you know what? Holy hell, is it a lot better? Well, it's just a change, right? People are in your life. They're such a huge impact on your life, big part of your life, and then you get rid of them, and it's sad and even depressing, and you got to rebuild your life. But then you get to a point where you're like, oh my God, why didn't I do that sooner? So much better. Lauren says, I'm guessing the reason the fibromyalgia is better now because you purged the narcs out of your life. That's probably a huge part of it. Also just healing from trauma. Like, I have had so much PTSD, and I'm finally at the point, you know, the video where the guy at the Canadian Tire, the Tim Hortons, the Paladin security guard, he was basically telling me that he was giving me a ticket and asking questions about my van. And I explained to you, like, the back story where he came in, he was telling me that I needed to leave and all this crazy shit. And he was going around my van, like, peering in the windows like this. That triggered my PTSD. So even though I didn't seem like it, I stayed strong while he was there because I needed to defend myself. But then afterwards, I had a really bad PTSD attack where my brain, it's an emotional flashback. So I went back to a place where you're not seeing reality. I'm like, everyone hates me, no one wants me here, that kind of thing. And I know it's not me, it's my trauma. So it's very bizarre, but that was probably the last time that I had a PTSD trigger. So I think that helped me purge the PTSD. I was doing tapping. I don't know what it's called, like EFT. I don't even know if I do it right, but it helped me tremendously. So yeah, healing from trauma helped tremendously to heal my fibromyalgia. I'm sure of it. Because not the food. Definitely, I eat more gluten now than I've ever eaten in my life. Really, Noelle, hi, I would really like to meet you. Are you somewhere in Vancouver? I am somewhere undisclosed in Vancouver. If I want to meet people, I will tell them when and where, and we will meet. But I do not, like, I really prefer to be alone right now so that I can focus on work and whatever I got to do. So I'm keeping my location private. But perhaps we'll do some kind of a meetup at some point. I know I've said that I don't like meetups, but it's not because I don't want to meet you guys. I would love to meet you guys. I would love to meet you guys and hang out. I don't like the context of a meetup where it's like, there's this YouTuber and this famous YouTuber is gonna come and they're gonna be there. We're all gonna be there and celebrate the fact that this YouTuber's here. I don't like that shit. Like, I'm a person, you're a person. Like, let's just chill and like have a chat and have a coffee. You know what I mean? So as long as we can keep it on that level, I'm good. Lauren says narcissists are freaking everywhere. They absolutely are. Michelle says, is it possible there's more than only one twin flame in a lifetime? No, not at all. That is the whole purpose of it. Not at all. And they are the other half of your soul. That's it. Or oversoul, or whatever you want to call it. Or they're the other half of you, whatever you level deep you want to get into it. But they're you in another body. I know they're going to say soulmates, oversoul, and then fuck it. No, there's no other twin flame. A lot of people will say, like, I've heard people say, I got this twin flame, and then that twin flame, and then that twin flame. No, you may have had soulmates, but they are not your twin flame. And when you meet your real twin flame, you will be very clear on that, because it is not like anything else you've ever felt in your life. It is a completely different experience. And then it becomes very clear that everything you felt before with soulmates was not actually your twin flame, but there's only one twin flame. And if you meet people who you thought were your twin flame and then it didn't work out and then you move on from them, thank baby Jesus. I'm telling you, because it's so much easier to be able to move on from someone who you can get over because they weren't your actual twin flame than all the crap you have to deal with your twin flame, even though it's good for you in the end. But the whole point, if you had multiple twin flames, it would mean that you were able to get over the first one to move on to the next one. But if they are really your twin flame, you never, ever, ever get over them. It's like saying I left my arm at a coffee shop and I found a different arm somewhere else. It just doesn't happen. I hope that makes sense. You are an awesome person. Thank you, Stuart. That's why I like you on this channel. Don't change. Oh, thank you, Stuart. Judah says, never heard of twin flame. I met a lot of twin icebergs. Okay. So true. A lot of people don't care about other people, only out for themselves. Lauren says, is it possible your twin flame is just no? No, your twin flame is not a love bombing narcissist. Some people think they've met their twin flame when they've actually met a love bombing narcissist. A twin flame is never a narcissist. And then there are people who post videos saying, oh, well, what to do if your twin flame is a narcissist? And they're doing that because they know how you're going to find the video. Okay. Because if you're dating a narcissist and you think that that's a twin flame, that's what you're going to look up on YouTube. But your twin flame cannot be a narcissist. They could be narcissistic, have narcissistic traits, do things that a narcissist might do, but they are not a narcissist, because a narcissist does not have the capacity to love you. They will never have the capacity to love you. They're broken in that way. Whereas your twin flame loves you, even if they don't show you, even if you can't verify it or validate it, or they're gone to another world and you don't hear from them for several years. If they are a real twin flame, they absolutely love you just as much as you love them. And the way that that's validated is by all the twin flames that end up together are able to tell their story, and there's a lot of them, and they tell their story and they mention everything that they went through and how they were separated and how it really looked like the other one didn't give a single F about you. And then the other one finally gets to say, yeah, I know that that's what it looked like, but I was deeply in love with you the entire time. And that's how you validate it. So no, a narcissist is not your twin flame. Why are we talking about pancakes? Now I want pancakes. Oh yeah, she was saying she was making the waffles with the hearts on them. Was it waffles or pancakes? I think she said waffles. It's still breakfast. We have time. Thank you, Heather. Thank you, Heather. This was very sweet. Always Be Kind says, I love the kitties and truly love your honesty. Thank you. Thank you very much. Northern Astro says, any subs you lose are good riddance. Absolutely. Thank you very much. You speak the truth 100%, truly awake and not afraid to keep it real. Thank you. I'm floored at how similar our stories are. You have helped far more people than you know. Thank you so much, Northern Astro. That's very kind. Laura says, yeah, the dudes that I was in love with, the dude that I was in love with was on, oh no. And he ended up eventually becoming more of a narcissist over time. Well, glubs, I can't say that word, but glugs will do that to you. When you're on glugs, people on glugs act like narcissists. The glugs hijack your brain. I can't say the word. If you're wondering what I'm saying, I cannot say the word. When you are on glugs, it hijacks your brain and you act like narcissists. All you think about is getting more glugs and yourself, because you're on this like feedback loop of, it's like the mouse pushing the lever to get more of the glugs, right? Or more of the sugar. But then when they get cleaned up, when they get off of it, if they're not a real narcissist, then they have absolute remorse for everything that they did, and they're a completely different person. But that's no excuse to take that ish, okay? You do not have to take no one's ish, whether or not they had having hard times in life and blah, blah, blah. F them. They clean themselves up. They come and apologize. Maybe you could think about letting them back into your life. Maybe. But you don't have to. You don't owe them ish. Ended up becoming more of a narcissist over time, and he was more like a closeted one. It's totally possible that he really was one, but it's also possible, I don't know the details, it's also possible that it was the glugs that made it seem like he was one. Either way, you did right by cleaning house. Thank you, Daily Dose. Northern Astro says there are too many people on pills drowning themselves with foods or even begin to comprehend the situation we're all in. It's an epidemic here in Ontario. Boy. Probably. Oh well, here in Vancouver, it's really, really bad. Judah says, "What do I think of Bob Wells? Please remind me, someone, who is Bob Wells?" Clint says, "You don't need a license to be a mechanic." Right on. Maybe it depends where you are. I don't know. Either way, you probably need to go to school for it or something, and I have not. I was a heavy truck technician for 30 years and never had a license. Right on, Clint. Thank you, Heather. Oh, thank you, Rainbow. Judah says, I was a loner for a long time. I lived with 2 ferrets, 2 cats, and a goldfish. I love it. I was loving life alone in my house for a long time. Then I got sick. Well, it felt lonely. Aww. Jason says, yes, moving out of the toxic city was hard, but now so much better. I'm like talking into my coffee like it's a microphone. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay, clearly I'm tired. I need to go to bed. It's 1 o'clock. It's 1 o'clock? All right. Yeah. Rainbow says, I instantly felt so much better moving away and cutting people out of my life. I tried tapping and it did nothing. Aw, I'm telling you, if you do it right, I'll show you. I'll show you. You got to cry it out. You got to cry it out. Constant Van Life. Hey, from Vancouver Island. Hey, Constant Van Life. Judah Buddha says, I think there is time in people's lives where being alone is fine, but then some things change. As I get older, I think I am the opposite. Plus, winters here in Connecticut, it's nice to snuggle. Aww. I mean, everyone has different wants and needs and priorities, and we can't just like tell people blanket statement that this is going to work for them, because it might not. But yeah, maybe different times in your life you need different things, but different people need different things to different extents too. Rainbow says, I think soulmates can feel like twin flames at first. Yes, I think that if you've never met your twin flame, then it's very possible to believe that your soulmate is your twin flame. Or even just a narcissist, love bombing narcissist, as we said. Always be kind. Your soulmate. Thing is, soulmates, karmic partners. Karmic partners can feel like your twin flame if you don't know what your twin flame feels like, because when you meet someone karmically, meaning that there is some lesson that you were meant to learn in that experience. When you meet them, and every time that I've met one of these people in my life that were an important lesson or catalyst in my life, the moment I met them, it was like, ding! I just knew. It felt like I knew this person in a past life kind of thing. And that could be soulmate too. Like when I met Chrome, I told him this. I'm like, I feel like I know you. And he's like, yeah, well, a lot of people say that. I'm like, no. Like from the first time I saw your video, I'm like, I know this guy from somewhere. Like, I know you from somewhere. I can put my finger on it. I feel like we've lived past life together. But there have been people in my life that were extremely abusive. Okay. But when I met them, I'm like, ding, something was like this recognition in them. And then there's this pull to them, and infatuation and all this. And if you just go by the definition of what a twin flame is, of course, it's easy to fall for that and get sucked into it. And then I would live out this horrifying experience with them, and it would teach me a lot about life. And it was something that I needed to learn on my path. But they were obviously not my person. Your person, as much as they might act stupid and do stupid things and whatever, they're, I want to say they're not going to abuse you, but I've heard some wild stories. We'll leave that conversation for another day. My website doesn't load. Yes, I know. I didn't want to pay for it right now, so it is temporarily down. And one thing at a time. Like I said, I took everything down, and I'm going to slowly build it back up as I get the cash flow in. Your next, Always Be Kind says, your next soulmate could be right around the corner, but you do have to be open to it. Yep. I wasted many years mourning and realizing what a total waste of my time it was. Don't make my mistake. Absolutely. Always Be Kind to, it's continued. I mean, I believe in mostly soulmates. Yeah, you do have multiple soulmates. Absolutely. Twin flame only one. Soulmates, many. The sweetest, kindest group. Isn't it the best people in this live stream? You guys are the absolute best people. Liz says, get a cat stroller. Could I put all three in there, though? Is my question. Rainbow says, oh, yeah, it's true. A narcissist can trick you into easily believing they are a soulmate or a twin flame. Karen says, always waffle time. Yeah, it's always waffle time. Judah Buddha says, your website. Oh, yeah, we did that one. The Empty Omelet says, what's your go-to van life meal? Breakfast bagels. Breakfast bagels. Yes, we have many soulmates, only one twin. Exactly, Laura. Rainbow. Laura says, definitely helps to get away from that kind of stress in the healing process of anything. Stress affects us way more than we even know. Absolutely. Daily Dose says, I'm currently with my twin flame. No way! Yeah, awesome! That's awesome. What you described is exactly what happened to us. Oh, I didn't realize he was my twin flame until I got divorced from my ex-narc, and we ended up dating. That's really nice to hear, Daily Dose. Judah Buddha says Bob Wells runs. Oh, yes, that's Bob Wells. Yes, that's like one of the reasons I wanted to go to Quartzsite and be in Quartzsite for January. He looks like Santa Claus. Yeah. I love his channel. He seems like a really good dude. Yeah, I wanted to be there. Whatever. It is what it is. If I'm meant to be there, I'll be there next year. VK says, hi, Natasha. I've not been feeling well for a few days. I'm sorry about that, hun. But I hope you and the kitties are well and wish you well for the new year. Thank you very much. AP says, random question, what are you drinking? I am drinking pure vodka. No, I'm just joking. It is a big ass coffee with 2 creams. Rainbow says, narcissists will create a trauma bond with you. Exactly. Trauma bond produces the same hormone in our brain that love does, and that's why you believe you love someone who is abusing you. Yep. I gotta stop saying that word. Yep. Once you realize what's happening, it makes it easier for you to leave them. Absolutely. Yep. Lauren says that's right. Right on. Judah Buddha says, do you like living in the new vehicle? Miss the Sprinter. I love the Caravan. I feel like I should be mourning the Sprinter. Like, it's such a dramatic change, and I don't feel like I've really processed my feelings because I've got so much going on, but I definitely love the change. Happy with it. Would I go back to the Sprinter? No. No. Will I eventually get a bigger vehicle one day? Maybe. But right now, priority is strategic. It is debt paid, buy land. Why? Because of the world changes right now. It's no time to F around. Laura says, yeah, I know what you're saying about the flugs, and that's what made it so hard because, yeah. No, you did the right thing, Laura. Judah Buddha says, I don't have a Dunkin' Donuts there. They don't have a Dunkin' Donuts there. I'm sure we have Dunkin' Donuts somewhere. I just barely anywhere. This is our Dunkin' Donuts. And I hate that I am always putting them on the vlog as if I'm promoting them because they're a corporation who that has made some really bad decisions that I don't agree with. But the reality of my life is that it is the most convenient thing right now. So, ideally long term, I'd have more of a homestead situation where I would like to quit coffee. You know what I mean? I would like to quit coffee and grow my own food and drink, which I'm pretty sure I'm not going to be growing Colombian coffee beans in my backyard, but maybe I can work something out with someone who does. Anyway. Leaving for Arizona Monday or Tuesday. Cool, Nomad Man. Nice. Let us know what's going on over there. Judah Buddha said, just Tim Hortons. No, we have to. Oh, yeah, okay. I already said that. I'm going to go right back into what I just said. No, we have Dunkin'. Okay. We don't have Tim Hortons, so I'm curious about them. Not to promote them, and they have decent coffee. It depends on your taste. I've adapted, so now I'm like, oh, that's good coffee. I used to be McDonald's coffee for the win, but then recently I think they made a change to their beans, and I'm just like not into it as much. Tastes different. I don't know if it's my taste that adapted or if it's some form of shrinkflation where they just started buying cheaper beans. But it doesn't do. It's not right anymore. And Tim Hortons has the best selection of food. So we have Tim Hortons and Wendy's together a lot. This is one of them. And so in terms of fast food restaurants and pricing, is the cheapest for the best food. So, yeah. I have a great sense of humor. Thank you, NC Van Man. Melrose MiniVan tour. Heck yeah, coming up soon. Probably in like a week or so. I've never tried Krispy Kreme coffee. I want to. I was tempted to the other day, but I didn't do it. Why? Because their donuts look really good. I didn't want to get one. Judah says they have some Tim Hortons in the U.S., but very rare, yeah. Daily Dose. Being with my narc for so many years, I was overwhelmed with the amount of ugliness from him I was enduring on the daily. They really can fool you easier than you realize. Yep. Judah says, looks at the magical beast. Is this the magical beast? It's my little magical beast. Oh. Cat butt. Judah says, is it hard to brew a cup in the car? I haven't tried yet. I have a video coming up about this, but that one of the difficult parts of the transition was figuring out the food thing, and it was just for a variety of reasons. I've just been, either going straight to the grocery store and getting what I was going to eat, or going to the drive-thru and getting my breakfast bagel, or whatever it is. But I haven't until very recently solved the cooking the car thing. So That's coming up too. My girlfriend has Persian cats, 3 of them. Wow. They are awesome cats. Beautiful cats too. Delilah says watching from Brooklyn. Nice. Yeah. It's like, why did I say it like that? Brooklyn. Thank you, Delilah. The empty omelet says McDonald's coffee definitely changed. It did change, eh? It's not just me, okay. Keltrina says, what's the story on how you got the cats? I was fostering cats. It's a very long story, but I'll tell you from this one. I was fostering cats. The woman who owned the foster place, whatever, was a narcissist and started taking advantage of me. And I was like fostering like 13 cats at some point. These guys, I had way too many cats. I had like 9 or something, like they were kittens, right? And trying to get them adopted. But I had them for weeks. I'm like, woman, I'm like 9 freaking cats in my house. And she didn't care because she was taking advantage of me. And then someone put a box of kittens, like freshly born, gerbil-sized kittens in a box, a litter of 7. They were starving and dehydrated, emaciated, and left this box in front of, what is it, like the SPCA or something? And so they were full, and someone called the woman, and she went to go pick up this box. And so she called me, and she's like, can you take these kittens? I'm like, woman, I have like 9 already. I'm like, but I can't turn them down. So I'm like, yes, I'm going to take them, these poor babies. So I had these like teeny tiny gerbil-sized kittens in the bathroom to like limit them from running around and stuff. And I was like not force feeding them, but I had a syringe with water, and I was like making them drink water to hydrate them. So I was making them drink often instead of waiting for them to drink when they were thirsty, to rehydrate them, and like feeding them. And so I like nursed them back to health. And then I had 7 more of these little kittens. And I'm like, can we find them homes? And then eventually I'm just like, but I love this one. And I love that one too. And yeah, I ended up keeping 3 of them. This was the one that I'm like, above all others, I want this one. I don't know. We have like a connection. And not with Nala, it was like, because she's a beautiful cat, and I saw these weirdos trying to adopt her. Like this one woman was like, oh, she's gonna love it, all the perfume I have at home. Cats love perfume, I'm gonna spray her every day. I was like, no, don't do that. And I'm like, can I please adopt this cat, because I don't trust the people looking at her, because she's a pretty cat, she's a beautiful cat. So these weirdos are trying to adopt her for the wrong reasons. I'm like, I need to keep this cat. And then Spot, my mother liked Spot, so I wanted to keep Spot for my mother. And I'm glad I did. My mother, after, she's just like, oh, I don't know, she's a narcissist. She doesn't care about cats anyways. But so I don't understand her motivation on telling me. I think what she was doing was trying to convince me to not keep the cat that I wanted, and to keep Spot instead, because narcissists get off on controlling you and controlling your decisions, right? But I kept all 3 instead, because I wasn't going to compromise. I wasn't going to not keep her. And I'm very glad I kept Spot, because it turned out Spot had a really bad fish allergy, and I figured it out. The vet couldn't figure it out. The vet was like, took a bunch of blood and poking and prodding and all these tests, and like traumatizing my poor cat. And they're like, well, we don't know. Cat throws up all the time, but we can't figure it out. Here's some vet food that you can buy from us. And since she's throwing up and doesn't want to eat, you should force feed her, like a cyst feed. I'm like, okay. Because if you don't, she'll die. If you don't, she'll get kidney disease and die. So you should force feed her this. So I take this vet food that they sold me home, and I start like assist feeding my cat, and she's getting worse. And I'm like, forget it, I'm going to look it up myself. And I started looking up all this info, like everything else I do. I figure it out. And I'm like, hey, fish allergies is a thing in cats. Common. Okay. I read the ingredients on the vet food. This is made of fish. Why wasn't this even a suggestion? Okay. Stopped feeding her fish. She stopped throwing up. She stopped having diarrhea. She started eating food again. She got completely better. So I figured out that she had a fish allergy and saved her freaking life, whereas someone else may have put her down because the vets said she wasn't fixable. So I'm very happy about the decision that I made. I need my sleeve, bud. Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you. Oh, that's fine. Whatever. What are we here? I lost my place. Coffee story. Okay, Kitty wants love. Kitty doesn't want love. Okay. Laura says I had it with the dude that I was telling you about. The instant I met him, we clicked, and we were friends for 2.5 years. I didn't know about the flugs until, that's what happens, but you made the right decision. Sorry that you had to go through that, though. You got to get Krispy Kreme donuts when the hot donut sign is lit up. Oh, I have, Rainbow. I have had fresh Krispy Kreme donuts, and they are addictive, and that is why I didn't get the Krispy Kreme coffee. I was just thinking you kind of favor Nala. I don't not in reality, not in my life. I might put her in more thumbnails or something. I don't even know if I do, but if I do, it's an aesthetic thing, or I've noticed she shows up easier in thumbnails because of what color she is, whereas this one will just like disappear into, because they're not very high res photos. So she's in some of the pictures that you can't even see. You can't even see her because she just disappears. But it's an aesthetics thing. It has nothing to do with how much I love them. I love them all equally. Gotta stop losing my place. Let me know. I haven't solved the cooking in the van yet either. Oh my gosh. All right, I'm gonna put even more detail into that video before I post it, because you have more space than I do, so you have more options. Judah Buddha says, I think people use the dollar app to get the coffee. Maybe. I don't even know if that's applicable here in Canada, though. Maybe. Rainbow says, was just thinking, oh yeah, we did that one. Judah Buddha says, any size, $1. Girl, you are not taking my hat off. You want to get off? Okay. Okay, I think she wants to get down. Okay, thank you for joining us. You're kind of stealing the show. I know she's stealing the show. She does love me. I love her too. Okay. Cats hate perfume. I know. Cats hate perfume. It was so weird. So weird, old lady. Okay, Scott says, I have to leave. Bye, Scott. I hope I didn't miss you. Sorry. Catch it. Oh, thank you. Well, if you watch the replay. Bye, Scott. Thank you for joining and for having great questions. Thank you. Carl says, Rainbow. Oh, yeah, exactly. Causes irritation. Delilah, my cats must be weird. They love my perfumes. Oh my god, really? That's so crazy. Maybe I think your cats are weird. For me, it's more like because they clean themselves, and I'm like they're gonna be licking that stuff, and there's like alcohol in it. Like no. Laura says, would let me define. Oh no, girl, that's hard. It sounds like he might have been personality disordered, girl. Run. Carl says incense is also a no-no because it causes respiratory problems. Interesting. Would you cross into the States anytime? Yes. Next time it gets cool. So next fall is the plan. It's the tentative current plan is next fall. We will see how things play out, but that's the plan so far. If they let me in. And no, I wouldn't. I meant, oh, that I look like Nala. What? Maybe because we both have blue eyes. No, that was the one with no name that I call either baby, little one, my little ninja. Shut the F up. I can't say it on here. But Spot's still in the back napping. I was looking at 98 Chinook Concourse had some water damage. Is this land? What are we talking about here? Is there something? Hey, Shelly's back. Is there something that you are saving for the van? Oh, for the van that we could help you with. I prefer to send via. I appreciate the thought. I love that you are that kind of person. I'm not going to take anyone's money. To the best of my ability, I'm not going to take anyone's money. See, this is why I don't turn the PayPal on, because people want to send me money. Stop! I'm good. It will be good. Just gotta do things in the correct order and do things according to the cash flow chart, and we're fine. Delilah says my cats hunt me down if I have perfume bottle. Oh my god. Kelly, healed people hurt people, heal people, hurt people, hurt people. Aw. I'm glad to know healed people heal people. At least that's hope. Clever girl figuring out the fish allergy. Thank you, always be kind. Cats are actually true carnivores, even more so than dogs, so only meat, wet or grain-free dry, is the healthiest food for their longevity. I agree. And I used to feed them raw, but obviously I can't do that now because it's not safe because it's in the van. So we just do the best that we can, try to give them high-quality, grain-free food, even though it's kibble. And when I get into the next phase, then I can have a proper fridge again. Then I can give them raw again. You never heard how people start looking. Rainbow's telling me I look like a cat. Daily dose. I've got to get back to work. Bye. Thank you for joining. Thank you for being here. Thank you. I appreciate that. I will try to do another live. Shelly says you can don't stop. I'm not gonna read that. Okay. Somehow we've gotten to the end of the chat. Hey, Julie. Okay. Hi again. Wow. I went and did some housework. You're still I know why. Because you know why? Because there's a ton of people that have still been on. As long as you guys are here, then I can do this until I start getting loopy or have somewhere to go. And so, since so many people have stayed on, I've stayed on. Also, I've been trying to get to the bottom of this chat, which we just finally did. Let people love me. I know, but I can't. We can keep asking questions. Oh boy. I'll go out on a limb here and say humans should eat mainly carnivore also and some raw meat. Most likely nomad. Thanks, Stuart. Rainbow comment. Yeah. Okay. So we got to the bottom of the chat finally, 3 hours in, pretty much. If I'm on the East Coast, you are more than welcome to. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. By the time I'm on the East Coast next, I will be in a completely different financial situation. And if not, then I won't be on the East Coast, tell you that much. But, yeah, so I think we've come to the end. Did anybody have anything important to ask me before I end the chat? Or live stream, whatever? I think 3 hours is good. It's good. Okay, cool. So, no more questions coming in. Love it. There's probably a delay. But so I'm gonna give it a second. But let's call it. I think we're gonna call it a day unless somebody's got something that they really want to know or something. I'm gonna give it a second. But I think we're going to call it a day. I think 3 hours is good. I think we had a good one. I think I'm going to leave it up. I think a lot of people are going to watch the replay and possibly unsubscribe for a variety of reasons, but that's okay. That's okay. We're okay. Sarah says, oh, dang it. Sarah says, if you've seen me in and out 20 times, I've been listening off and on. Thank you, Sarah. Grateful believer of Jesus Christ here, but I respect everyone's right to choose their beliefs. Right on. VK, my cats have wet food, and Royal Canine urinary tract dry food because. Oh, cool, awesome. It's good that you got the right food for your cats. Thank you, NC Van Man. Thank you, Laura. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Sarah, for popping in here and leaving a comment. Appreciate that. All right, so thank you guys so much. You lost a lot of the chat. Well, it's okay. There's going to be a replay, I'm pretty sure. Unless something goes wrong, there will be a replay. Thank you, Judah Buddha. Thank you, Jane. Thank you, Rainbow. Thank you guys so much. Again, anyone who missed it, Happy New Year, Happy Christmas, Happy everything. And awesome. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you, Lori. Bye, Lori. Thanks, guys. Thanks, the empty omelet. Thank you, Keltrina. Awesome. Thank you so much, guys. I will talk to you soon. And how do I end this? Okay. Bye, guys. Thanks.